kind.
Yeah.
So Linus likes to buy a Costco bag of olives.
Say hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet!
Welcome,
like this
Welcome to olive
bag,
shaming.
Yeah.
like
We're
this
talking
big,
shit
and
about
it's
our
just fucking
friends.
just olives. And he's like, we have them now.
This is that hot olive content you come for.
That's right. We're talking about olives.
That just
Is that a
sounded bad.
euphemism? You decide.
We eat a lot of olives in our house. Just saying.
Actually, in French, an olive is basically like
A vagina.
well, no, it's that very rude thing where like you stick you stick a finger in one of your friends' like dressed butt, you know, as they bend over.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
It's like, hey, you dropped your keys. And then olive. Yeah, that's I don't know.
Oh, it's 1,000 years of
French
pain.
people.
Yeah.
See?
That's funny.
Yeah.
What the hell, French people?
I mean,
Fascinating. What'd you use for the sauce?
Just the tomato sauce that was open.
Which tomato
I don't know why.
Pasta sauce.
Really?
I looked at it. It looked fine.
Okay.
If I get sick later when I want.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you can't be bad about that as a sister. Like, she's real awful at eating bad food.
I don't remember the last time we made spaghetti, so that's why I was like,
I looked. It
Yeah.
smelled fine. It looked fine.
Mhm.
Could be wrong.
okay.
Could be wrong.
All right, y'all. So
Describe what happened the last time.
you're
Jamie, I'm doing word art.
you're in Tahoe.
Two things. Someone almost died, and then a baby.
yeah.
Someone will start.
Right, a baby. I'm
And
gonna eat
all
the baby.
Pippa wants to do is fucking die now.
Yeah.
Well, are they gonna have a wedding or a funeral? Either way, it's gonna be a great time.
Pippa hung around in their 90s, like
Completely
forever.
oblivious.
Like that baby really messed in her head.
Why did I take a lot of aggro?
Because you almost murdered.
Well, because
No, because Bill's not girlfriend
yeah,
has
it's been jabbing us
been
with
stabbing
needles.
you all
Stabbing
repeatedly
us all.
over the course of 6 months.
Yeah, so they can feed the ghouls. Oh,
Basically
we're all
siphoning you like someone's gas tank. You know. That,
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then you woke up hungry, and
Oh,
as a
I was
result,
Tasha.
nearly murdered
Joseph, not Joe.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Not Jeff, that's right.
Joe with an S. Joss.
I was hungry and confused. Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Is my mouth put out?
He's not a good person.
Yeah, no. That's fine.
Things to the light.
And then you guys were like, "Whoo! How about that being awake again? Let's go to sleep." And then it was another day. Oh yeah, you guys were like, "What's up with that lake again? Let's see if it knocks us out one
Right,
more
that's
time." And then it didn't. So I guess there's good news there.
Although I have a bit of it in a vial somewhere.
That's weird.
They're channeling our Dresden team.
Yep.
They're running this paranormal investigation.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doors though, so we'll probably do
And
better.
if there are doors, remember to talk to them properly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and go through them. What they actually do open up.
Yeah.
And we'll nope out for 2 years.
Hear me singing?
She's talking to her boyfriend.
Oh.
Wow.
On the count of 3, everyone yell, "Hi, Daniel." No?
I was thinking I'd just take the Yeti up there. And
Just make it way just
Like a boom mic?
yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
The boom mic creeping in the room.
I don't know what you came to watch tonight, but yes, the content you're gonna get is
That's right.
15-year-old love stories.
I saw the shirt you were wearing, and I thought the shirt was really funny, really clever.
Is that really what it sounds like?
Go to a hot topic.
No, he's a band geek / football player. He's not going to Hot Topic.
You know, I know
Go to hot
that's.
topic.
No, he's
Band.
not. He's not.
Band goes to hot topic.
Yes, but football does not go to Hot Topic.
The people I play D&D with will play.
He just
play
challenged
football.
all of his much older uncles to 5 of them versus him and all of his football gear. He's not going to Hot Topic.
Hot Topic isn't for weirdos anymore. Anyways, it's
No,
like,
it's not.
It's
No.
it's the place you go to buy Funkos.
She
and
said
sometimes-
sadly.
Yeah.
I feel like that should stay a long time ago.
As an ex-employee, I know.
So hot.
Oh
So
no!
hot.
Molten hot pizza!
You can drink some of that water that you have in front. Oh wait.
Yeah, it's the other kind of hot.
Wow. No, it's not spicy. It's just.
No, I meant temperature hot.
That's what I
Yeah.
meant. I was saying
Yeah.
like to cool off your mouth.
Yeah.
I feel like I was getting tired at the end of this because I have a sentence that's not
Complete.
Isn't that like 80% of John's notes
That
whenever
is
he takes
me
them?
every damn time I take notes.
Just 6 started
I just don't-
sentences, all sentence fragments.
out of context.
For those joining us remotely, it's JC let me know earlier that it's
Bagel.
That it's national, international.
National.
It's bagel and pizza day. So por qué no los dos?
Bagel bites.
Bagel bites, motherfuckers.
Is it like separate days that are just? It's like International Bagel Day, International Pizza Day.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was why it was like, duh, bagel bites are the answer for this.
Bagel bites are generally the answer for most things.
Except Groundhog Day.
I mean, this definitely does feel very much a D&D high school.
Oh
at this
yeah,
point.
no.
Oh yeah. No.
There's no Mountain Dew and there's no giant bags of Doritos. But
There's a
that
Mountain
you
Dew in the
don't
fridge.
that you know of.
that has to stay there so that it can be so you can actually play D&D. Actually, it's a legal requirement. It's in the book that says you can't play D&D in a house that doesn't have at least one can of Mountain Dew available.
That's right. And I
It's
ain't
in
in
the
the
front
business
portion
of
that
getting
no one
deported.
reads.
So.
Please
We're
don't.
gonna play this by the rules.
Get deported by the D&D police.
That's right.
D&D
Never know they're gonna
cops.
fucking repel in here. You guys don't know how to roll initiative.
At least wouldn't at least some of us count as the man, though? I mean,
Maybe.
They just they draw a bead on you with their wands and magic.
they don't need to because.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just they don't need to aim those. So, but
I printed out a comic when I was in high school that says gamers are not the cause of violent crime, but not for a lack of trying. And it's some kid going, magic. And someone else like, the fuck are you doing?
yeah.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that 911 episode.
Patton Oswald, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you shot him with a crossbow. Well, it was a trap. And they
Or in
didn't make the
this ridiculous
save.
fucking outfit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What? Let's see.
Lieutenant Dangle, Lennon, actually played a couple sessions of D&D with the Nerd Poker crew
Oh, nice.
as a paladin turtle named Nug Nug,
Yeah.
who kept repeating, all my friends are dead, and then took a weird turn into chaotic evil and got a new patron. It was a hell of a ride.
So were we all just going to bed at the end of the session? We're like, ooh, there's a baby.
No, I tried to be like, well, the next 3 days, and people were like, well, I want to do this and I want to do that, so...
Yeah.
Oh, right. So it's a new day.
Yeah. I organized some hunts, and then people wanted to investigate.
I mean, the end of my thing says next night, Stella, so yes. Already, therefore, the next day happened.
Yeah, I believe the thing that everybody was kind of pushing towards was we're out of the bad travel season, so we can continue traveling.
I asked the bookkeep in town.
Oh, Miss
Spider Bitch.
Miss Arachnia.
Spider Bitch.
That's her name now. Spider Bitch.
Whatever, Spider Bitch.
Colette Dumont.
Miss Colette Dumont.
Man, she's funny.
That,
You sound like Kanye.
She's bitch.
I go in and I apologize for holding on to the books for like 2 months. 9 months.
That's fine, dear. I had a feeling they would come back.
Two fingers.
I give them to her and I ask if there's anything I can purchase from her.
Any of the books?
Yes, she has any books for purchase.
And you feel those long spindly
describe this lady?
fingers.
Oh, terrifying young love.
That's right. I remember
the
her now.
spindly long digits
Yeah.
at the end of her limbs.
Just straight Yzma.
Touch, glance along your own hands,
No,
As
because she
you
was
hand off the
Yzma,
books.
she wouldn't have dazzled me.
and
She'll take
somehow
off her
they're
bonnet at some
they're
point.
almost
There's
as
like
cold
8
as yours,
eyes
and you're not quite sure how.
The better.
And she goes,
How many percent are on it?
I don't know. Usually when something comes into my collection, it stays for good.
Well, that's not ominous.
Yeah. Are we still doing phrasing? She's like, although, if perhaps you have
Do
something...
you want slave camps? Because that's how you get slave camps.
That's right. If you have something of equal value to trade, I'm always looking for new delicacies to take in.
And it's like, what are we talking about now? I'm not
You're
sure.
on. This is a slippery slope now.
It is, and I'm debating on.
You want to make me a little? You know what? Yeah, let's do it.
It's gonna be like.
Make me an imp plus.
Look, it's my very quick
Sorry.
little character sheet.
And didn't even need to go in the freezer.
No, freezer free.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it actually worked.
Int plus.
We're
Wait,
getting
so
easily here.
int plus
So-
animal 10.
3 star. Here.
So when we were playing our Zelda campaign, Amanda and I were playing the Twin Roba. So we wrote all of our character sheets in friction pen.
Okay.
So instead of like erasable pen, you just rub it and it disappears.
Okay.
And so it was written in friction pen. And I left them in my car. And it was
you can
really
rewrite
hot.
that one.
And when we took them out, the sheets were completely blank.
Oh no.
It was in
So
the heat.
because they were out in the heat,
Nothing.
and so I panicked and I'm like, wait,
She must
friction.
be a ghost.
So I shoved them in the freezer, and they just
It's the only
magically
excuse-
came
it's
back.
the only reason.
Fucking
The only reason what?
That's so awesome.
It was like secret name.
She's like a ghost or a mummy or something.
It's like reverse secret ink. Because you gotta make it cold in order to get. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
She crit botched her
Yeah.
roll just now.
Ooh, are
I
you
don't
part
even know
of the,
what I don't even know what I was looking for.
Are you part of the
Oh.
collection now?
Maybe.
That woman's gonna be like, "Why are you gonna trade me for this orphan boy's soul that I have in a jar?"
everything.
Yes, as far as Hannah's
You could have the
concerned,
baby.
this woman must be a mummy, or I was like, she's a ghost. She's got to be. So,
Right.
you don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of what kind of books I would want. I would want something about the local native area and or something mystical. Would she have either of those available to trade?
I mean, there's definitely the books that you borrowed, and those gave you quite a bit of
picture that reminds me of
info
Nancy,
from
because it was a
the perspective
medical
of a
thing
Westerner.
Right.
messed up his
The
hand.
Spanish
and over to
missionaries, as well as
them having-
the
they basically
as well as
sewed it
the
in
one
his
or
own
two
abdomen,
expeditions
right?
from
It's a weird
US
thing, like it
Army.
prevented
I
prevented
want
I think it prevented
folklore,
from like the
like
like,
Some
mythos,
blood circulation in it.
yeah, and it prevented
um,
necrosis and everything like that.
folk tales,
He's like-
fairy tales
He's
of
able to
the
picture
area,
the thing said nice body.
or
It's like yeah,
actual
isn't it
stuff
great?
that
It has
like
pockets.
presents itself as magical.
Which I mean, you know,
Hmm.
Frank is 100%.
I have a couple things in mind I might be able to
had
trade.
Fred. Yeah, I've done
This
this.
is slowly becoming
Slowly
canon.
come true.
Frank is slowly becoming canon.
Yeah.
I'm
Fred-
sometimes Frank. What?
Fred has 100% had body pockets from like
That's right.
early on.
Yeah, wouldn't it be weird if we just trade personalities and then there's a Frank here and a Fred and me?
That'd be really very strange.
I won't do that.
Fred is
too.
like
That's okay.
sticking his hand in his belly
personalities
pocket.
with
This
different
is
clans
already
are
a
kind
hand
of-
in there.
You see her kind of
Extra line.
kind of shift,
Uh-huh.
almost
That's where
as
that
if
went.
almost as if she goes from a slouch to a lean,
Mm-hmm.
but somehow it's like her shoulder blades that roll up
Oh,
a bit.
no.
Okay.
It's unsettling.
She's gonna shoot web.
She might.
Just duck and roll.
Watch out for the dress.
And she kind of cocks her
I
head
just thought she followed that. That's like
and
the
looks
first thing that
off
came in my
into the
mind.
distance past you,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear a little noise.
That she's making from her?
Yeah?
Okay.
You're not... You think she's clicking her tongue, but you're actually not sure.
Alright.
And she goes, I don't have anything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I think
Oh,
I
no.
know who might.
The
Okay.
In the interest of my habitation here,
Mm-hmm.
I would be glad to provide that info. However, I want assurance that these individuals will not be harmed or scared off or that sort of thing.
How are you even going to give that?
Sure. I will come alone. And as long as no harm comes to me, no harm will come to them.
Ooh, is this the time for you to like randomly look at someone and then go blind?
When you say that, her smile gets just a little too wide, and she goes, "Of course, no, yes, that's the law of the land."
I'm not going to hurt anything that's not going to hurt me.
She says,
Salad humor.
"To the south,
To the south.
about a quarter of a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Along that quarter mile, there's a decently worn trail out of town. There will be a dead elm tree at the right side of the path as you head south. Take care not to touch the tree, but turn towards it and then walk past it for 55 paces, give or take. At the 56th-ish pace, you come into a clearing with a circle of rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Once you are there, make some sort of obeisance to show that you come in peace,
Mm-hmm.
and let them know that you are a friend of Mrs. Dumont. They will present themselves, and you may be able to ask them the questions you're trying to find answers to.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your assistance.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you require for this knowledge?
That assurance you offered earlier.
All right.
Who knows, you may have already met them. They're all locals, so
Of
Probably a
course.
fairy.
small community.
It's definitely a fairy. Or several fairies.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, will you be leaving anytime soon?
Very soon. Next couple of days.
Oh well. Thank you so much for taking care of Theo. He is a delight.
Yes. Hannah's like, thank you. And packs it. Who's our special boy that we can't eat?
Special boy that we can't eat.
Your guide,
We
your
have a lot of
scout,
them.
Lou.
Lou, yeah. There he is.
Lou Carpenter.
Good thing I didn't find him first last session.
Hannah wanders back into camp, tells...
Tripping some crazy balls.
Would indeed. Would I
Oh,
just
did
turn
you want to try
normal?
and heal up at all or anything?
I thought I did.
You had
Oh,
the
I still have some stuff,
you had the option to. We discussed the healing rules.
which I still don't understand.
Okay, so
All of them are
let me
confusing.
try and explain it.
No, please don't. This is not that good. This is not a good time.
Okay.
I'd rather just roll things and you tell me if I heal or if I don't.
No, that's not how that works.
Alright, I'd
You
rather
have,
just...
you expend it. So every night you sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, see, god damn it! As soon as I started saying it,
So when you go to sleep and you wake up,
yeah,
you can spend 5 blood points and heal a level of aggravated damage. Gets rid of the damage entirely.
right.
If you want to heal more levels of aggravated damage on the same day, you have to spend 1 experience point and another 5 willpower. Oh,
Wait,
sorry,
does it
one
get rid of
one
the
willpower.
damage all the way, or just the aggravated part?
To my
just
knowledge,
be aggravated.
really? I thought they got rid of everything.
Well, because then it would be weird, because I have an aggro, I'm injured, but I also have a wounded and lethal.
Because the other stuff heals naturally, but in either case,
So to get rid of the X's, the stars.
Yeah.
and then
Let me double check.
And then if you want to do more than 1 level of aggravated in a single day, you have to spend a willpower point and 5 more blood points per extra level. Otherwise, you have to wait another day before you can heal again.
Okay.
So if you have 3 levels, you can either do. If you have 3 aggravated levels, you can either do 15 blood points and 2 willpower to get rid of all of it. Or 5 blood, and then wait a day, and then 5 more blood, wait a day, 5 more blood, wait a day. Then you don't have to spend any willpower.
How many blood points can I get just from the, like, I guess the amount that we are allotted?
3.
Okay.
You can harvest 3 safely from your shared herd of the.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna heal up a little bit. So you said 5 blood points, right?
Yeah, 5 to heal 1 level of aggravated damage.
Is aggravated the X or the star?
The star.
The star. Alright, cool. And then before I go to camp, I'll leave it.
Because then the rest of it should heal on its own over time. It's just the aggravated does not heal on its own over time, I don't think.
Well, what define over time? Like over a day,
you
over
have
a
to
week,
actively
over
heal damage because you're dead.
Cause you're dead.
Oh, that's a good point.
All right, let's see here.
I feel.
Try.
Bought a little egg cup to put the
So
the thing into.
Yeah.
Little airplane.
Yep, just the top.
So
You actually
99
remind me
cents at
is
World
what
Market.
I'm saying.
So I have an
Ooh.
I have an X in bruised, but not a star.
yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
That's what he's doing.
That's lethal damage.
Yeah.
And lethal damage,
I think you can heal that 1-to-1.
yeah. It's actually just right here.
I'm just a little bit bruised. So many places at the moment.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can soak. Where's the healing though?
Yeah, it's right here. Either healing bashing damage. Yeah, healing bashing damage happens on its own, even for vampires. Healing lethal damage.
Just when one blue card to heal at all, right?
Unless he finds something that says otherwise.
No, yeah. So lethal damage does heal over time without you spending blood, except for it just takes a long fucking time.
Okay.
Oh no, never mind. Disregard. That's mortal's healing time. My bad.
Yeah.
Vampires are relatively unaffected, so bashing damage. So yeah, I think pretty much everywhere else it just is you spend a blood point, get rid of it.
So mechanically, I'm gonna call it like this: you can spend 1 blood point, whenever you want, and that'll clear all your slash, all of your bludgeoning. You can then spend 1 blood point per X lethal damage to heal it up, all in one night if you want.
So
And
only
then-
1 blood point to heal up 1 X.
Yes.
Cool.
And then aggro is, as we discussed, 1 night of rest plus 5 blood will knock off 1 aggro, and then you can spend an additional 5 and a willpower to clear off however many more that same night.
Well, I'm just gonna go with the 1 aggro for this night. Are we on night 2 or night 3?
Night 2.
For night 2, I'm just gonna go for the 1 aggro.
Okay.
Wait, what was night 1 when we actually got the damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Night 1 was when you woke up and flipped out on Joseph.
That's when you empty to do like a Capri Sun.
Yeah.
Well, I dropped 5.
Did you stab it in the
and
bottom?
took back
I
to
did.
That's why I
cream.
carry the straw.
And then
From
Stella,
the local
you
syrup
well,
roaster
if at some point
person.
Stella goes and
Cow.
looks for
something
Annie
a farmer.
Yep.
and says,
before.
Oh, you guys have some in
apparently
camp.
I'm
I don't know
supposed to learn
cookies
how
make you
to
do
cook
things.
a pie.
That's right.
Do you tell him what it's for?
No.
Oh. Then you're right.
That's why I wanted to buy some.
But he believes Mrs. Sterling.
Miss Sterling seems very preoccupied with the baby.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, if you tell him what it's for, he understands what it's for and will give it to you.
Oh, okay.
Because he
Yes.
believes Mrs.
Okay.
Sterling.
Okay.
If Stella learns it, then that's
So,
not Tasha
then yes,
learning
I
it.
tell him what it's for.
So you have to tell Tasha when she comes back
He
around.
pulls out the jug and says,
That's
up
even weirder,
Thanks.
or I would
I'm
have.
like, no, he gets it.
Alright. And then I go to Frank's. Friedrich.
I'm tapping
Oh, yeah.
2 of my rules for blood, by the way.
Do you have any spare trinkets? Just one that you wouldn't mind parting with.
Oh, is one of them Chloe?
No.
Where were you at? You came over to the
I have
to
3.
the cart.
Mhm.
Okay.
It could be.
And he was probably out front
And Chloe.
dealing with
Okay.
So I took 2 points
having-
from
with the
Jean-Pierre and
table set up so that he can start working on
and
people. But
Oh, see.
It could be like a fork. It could be a small butter knife. It could be
you said knives.
I mean, just something small.
People like.
But,
hmm.
but I have
No,
At the end of the day,
Bertram gets a sack.
no.
He
But I
goes
can think
straight to
Liza
the
would
sack.
be
He knows
more
exactly
likely
what you're
to
talking about.
apologize.
And
he holds it
Stella's
up.
Kind of
Yeah.
a little
It's a little higher than you can
Sorry,
reach.
Thank you.
bad.
Bring it down. Thank you, Bertram.
I remind all of them.
And he just he like moves stuff off the table that he has set up for dealing with customers, and dumps out a bag basically full of let's call it silverware.
Sure.
That is made of questionable materials.
Yes.
So, I mean, you didn't realize he had this many femurs on hand, but it's you're really kind of wondering where he even found all the finger bones.
You can make a lot of lobster forks out of a finger.
There are an exceptional amount of really small finger bones. You're not sure where he got those from.
Well, it's a...
Yeah. So Hannah just picks out like a small fork. Just a small fork. Would you be willing just to part with this?
But, yes, of course.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
But are you sure you don't want the rest of the set? I mean, it's a match set. He starts pulling out like the table
me.
knife.
Just to appease him, Hannah accepts a spoon and a knife, just so it's.
You now have a large pile of silverware in your hands.
Oh.
As he just starts piling it in.
A matching
Okay,
set.
so here's a finger bowl, and
thank
here's
you.
a bowl made out of a finger, and
thank you. I'll take the bowl.
I was like, you can't not make that joke.
You gotta be able to serve a party. Like, it's not, you can't just have one set.
Thank you, Frederick.
he's just very pleased that somebody wants this stuff.
Behind him, Bert is like, he's just barely restraining himself from clapping.
I then go
Starts
to
shoving it
Theo.
back in the sack. Bertram!
Thank you, Frederick. I then go to Theo, and I tell Theo what I'm going to do. I let him know that if I'm not back by the morning to send a party out for me, and I tell him where I'm going.
You're not gonna take anyone with you?
I am going to take someone with me, but I'm not taking Theo. I'm going to take Lewis.
Alright.
But in case we don't come back,
He does ask. Like, that was pretty much in character. But when
Yeah.
you say Lou, he's like, alright,
Okay.
that sounds fine.
and then I go find Lou, and I go, hey, Lou.
You find him cuddled up against a tree trunk, hat
That's
down,
he's a
a
horse.
little wisp of smoke coming out of a pipe,
Mhm.
and yeah, the horse is worrying some green peeking through the thawing snow.
I go, hey, Lou.
The horse looks up and regards you. little snort, and at the snort you hear a, "No, you already had some."
Hannah peers down and like pulls up his hat a little bit. Hello,
Oh,
Miss Allen.
evening. Yeah, yeah. What's going on?
I need your assistance. I just need a lookout while I run an errand outside of town.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Should we, or...
Yeah, just two of us.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna pause here in case someone else wants to do anything else before I continue on to phase 2 of going on a hunt.
I have a question, actually.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about moving on.
Yeah.
I might actually ask you that off.
Oh, no, I know when that's happening.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Was that the question?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, okay.
No, we're still
mysterious
good.
as shit.
In any case, I mean...
Do the office stare into
I
the camera
expected it to happen last
Right.
year. Here we are. Who knows?
Not Bertram. Fred is just getting stuff together for, like, all he's concerned with at the moment is getting things together for eventually moving off to where we're going to go, because we're supposed to be leaving in a couple of days.
Oh yeah, he's getting all packed up and ready for the trail again.
And Lazarus is Russ is just
Russ is having some trouble watching a accelerated but no less but no more traumatic degradation of Annie's condition.
Yeah, he's just trying to deal with that whole thing. Like, she was walking around and happy and healthy for a minute, and then
she's still happy.
Yeah, well, I'm happy. That's about it.
Which helps.
Yeah.
And the thing you had all discussed comes back up, and so it makes sense that you guys would travel with this crew at least to a point.
Oh yeah, okay.
Before they break off.
Yeah, okay, that's right. I forgot that was the thing.
Lazarus may or may not have discussed that already with the crew. I don't remember, so maybe we'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah, I had a different thought of. I didn't remember that he had outside of game. I didn't remember that we'd come up with a reason for him to stay for the crew at all yet.
No, not yet.
Okay. Or move on from Tahoe to that.
Abe? Abe's all good?
Abe's all good?
Okay.
Because I have to do it every time. I'm sorry. John, what's Abe's last name?
Murray.
Murray. Thank you.
Russ has come back over to the camp because he just kind of needs to get away from it for a minute, and has been just sitting kind of over by wherever the usual fire pit is, puffing on a pipe, intermittently puffing on a pipe and like using a stick or using a knife to whittle a stick down into something.
Yeah. Stella, right?
Uh-huh.
Are you up to any shenanigans this evening?
No. Where are we right now?
Tahoe, at the
Still in the
camp.
same spot.
There has been a malaise over the camp, according to the rest of the quote unquote town. So if anyone wanders into town publicly, they may be met with suspicion. Unless they go all kitted up like a plague doctor, which seems to be the cool thing to do.
Neat. No. I feel like, Stella has nothing going on really besides learning that Tasha nearly killed someone, and I guess it's kind of me, so maybe I should be apologizing, but that sounds boring. Also, baking pie sounds boring, so I'm gonna go climb something. That's kind of where that's going.
Annie's health is declining, so she may not be able to teach.
That's true too. I think Stella doesn't care enough. Would have to be one of the others.
I do like the idea that Stella ends up up a tree somewhere. And Abe's like, where is that girl?
As usual.
Where? It just looks. Just.
I think he's been recording things, so he's figured out the pattern. It's like, okay, so Stella, what's the highest point here that somebody can climb? Oh, there she is.
Yeah, them redwoods, you got a lot of options. Alright, so yes, do Lou and you go by horseback or just by foot?
We can go by horseback if he doesn't mind.
Or did you?
What's Cookie's last name?
Oh, forget Because you always ask.
Sugar.
He's so sweet.
He's probably her favorite person in camp right now.
Almost. I named him. Hold on. Let me see here.
Yarony is not lost, and this is the game where we're all fucking sleeping in the woods 24/7.
Yep, you're welcome.
Where's that dice bag?
Oh, bitch.
That's my problem. It's my bad. My own fault.
Watching someone do a spell with the novena, which was one of those kills. Having cool assets.
Nice.
Oh, that's a powerful sharing there. Do I need to make a second round of bagel bites? Are people gonna want more? Okay.
I shouldn't have any more, so I'm
Definitely
I'm
got filled up on
I will definitely have that last one.
They're not eating.
I mean, do you want me to make more?
Why don't I just take out my turn?
Okay, then I won't make more. If you're hungry, you want me to make more?
No, I'm not hungry. That's the problem.
Okay, then I won't make any more.
Good.
Okay, then I won't make any more.
And I can't help it.
I know. That's how I feel about bagels in general.
Yeah.
And pizza.
There's a bagel shop down the road from our house, and they make really great bagels. They make like
Jerk.
marinara bagels and pesto bagels and like jack cheese. Oh my god, they're all so good.
We were talking last night about how my mom never bought anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like she always made everything herself from scratch. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like I never had a hamburger helper till I was in my late 20s. Like, so we never had this kind of stuff in the house. And so now that I'm older, it's like a weird secret like. It's not any good. It's just.
It's the thing. It's the thing of yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like it's stupid. Like
when you grow up and your mother makes you pancakes every morning. When you get a chance to eat some Captain Crunch, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
not that I experienced.
She always made eggs and she made fucking apple cinnamon cream cheese stuffed French toast. No, she made such good meals all the fucking time. Like we never had any of this like store-bought jam.
Mm-hmm.
No, all of our jam and jelly in the house was always homemade. My mom made it. Just all this stuff. So I weirdly crave fish sticks.
Yeah, processed
just dumb processed shit.
Fucking yeah.
And I'm just like,
I will inhale fish sticks.
and it's stupid because they're not good.
No,
Good.
they're not good.
They're not high quality. It doesn't mean they're not tasty.
Yeah, my mom would fry her own fish. She batter
I still
everything.
eat Blue Box on a pretty regular basis. I love to make my own fucking mac and cheese. So.
Yeah, and
Get some fucking Highliner.
Are you still looking for that last name?
Captain Highliner.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make up a new one.
With that store-bought tartar sauce, and you're like,
it was communal sigh.
that meal cost me $5.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other bit of the other bit of that is when you it's I love going to a ramen shop and getting really good ramen, but at
I
the same
still
time,
like a fucking cup
top
noodle.
ramen.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes you're just
Damn it. I still pick the peas out though. Let's not get stupid.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Peas don't belong in ramen. We leave the corn and the carrots.
Let's go with
I can't agree with that. Corn.
I don't like corn in my ramen, but it's a specific style.
Peas is wrong, but
I'm okay with the corn in a cup noodle, but if we go to a ramen place, I'm not getting corn like
peaceful, peaceful.
New lesson. Can't find it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have it all written down in my actual
So it'll become
character
a middle
sheet.
yeah. Let's just call him Jennings for now.
Yes, definitely wasn't it.
Yeah, no. The other name I came up with was Groll.
No, that wasn't either. No.
Yeah, no. I was just that's just a cool name.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, what do you have to do with Mr. Jennings?
Oh, I'm just writing down names of people I talk to.
Oh, right.
So when I actually talk to them, I have them.
When I actually use the word noises.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you and Lou skip on down the path.
Actually, I make Lou wait at the head of the trail.
Okay.
I don't want anything to accidentally go wrong, so.
All right.
He's gonna wait.
He sort of slides up against a tree and sort of makes
Long
himself
stuffy
more-
elm tree.
No, yeah.
Okay.
It's the
And I
same
look at
tree.
him. I was about to say, can we see the elm tree from here? From where
Oh
we're
yeah,
at?
it's right there.
I look at him. I
It's-
was like, do not, whatever happens, do not touch that tree.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He like regards the tree like it's gonna punch him.
It might.
He just sort of like
Blue just has a
slides it.
superpower where it's
To the side of his
whenever
vision.
whenever he needs to, he can just lean back and there's a tree there.
It's the same tree.
It's the same tree every time. It's not like it pops out of the ground or anything. He leans back and it's there, and it's always been there. And you just
It's
don't
always just out of shot.
you don't know how the tree ended up being in the middle of camp, but it's always been there.
The
Definitely has.
animators don't care to change it ever. They just
Yeah,
put
exactly. With the same cell in
Yeah.
place every time.
That's right.
Okay.
So yeah, so
Solid.
you count the 55 paces,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like 55,
Mhm.
and you see no sign of a clearing. You take one more because she was like 55, and as soon as that your foot hits the ground,
Mhm.
there's the clearing,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a circle of head-sized stones.
I'm just curious, how full is the room right now? How much can I see?
Um,
I'm assuming, can most vampires see in the dark unless they take like a different thing?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, like,
You have good low light vision.
okay.
Yeah, the ones that need you need Protean or Auspex to see actually see in the
Like-
dark.
through the dark.
Okay.
With the flashlight eyes.
Amaris was like pitch black. She
Sure.
saw everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
Protean's got the fucking glowy.
Oh, I remember we used to blind her all the time.
Yes.
There's a decent amount of light just from the stars, and
Okay, so there's no moon
what of the moon there is.
Okay. Okay.
The cloud cover is not too bad that it's
I'm
blended
just
everything out.
curious.
Okay. And yeah, the actually as you sort of see the circle, it's about the size of how big is that? 8-10 feet diameter circle with another good 3 or 4 feet out from that to the edge of the clearing where the trees start.
Mm-hmm.
And as you put your second foot into the clearing, it's almost as if the cloud cover is gone. Like you look up and it's just stars.
Okay.
Super bright,
Uh-huh.
super crisp, and the snow almost fades down into the circle of stones,
Mhm.
and the stones, there's just grass, fresh growth.
Cool.
Nice little carpet of green.
I walk into the circle and I set down a fork, a bowl. I pour some cream in the bowl,
Okay.
and then
It's not that bowl because now it'll taste bad. Those
The
bowls
whole-
have not been sanitized.
rude.
You hear a shit. There's a mouth at the bottom.
Damn it, Fred!
You didn't notice it was all alive. The pork gets up, starts walking.
Should have done better.
It's like disappearing, reappearing ink. Only it's like, haha, all of my china is for you.
Which would be great with vampires, actually.
And then Skid
I
was
brought
off.
my own bowl.
This food is delicious.
I
Oh,
didn't
man.
realize there was I didn't realize there was such a large bulge under your bowl. It wasn't there when we started. Oh yes, it was there the whole time.
Oh,
So I put out the cream, I put out the
writing
bowl,
down
I put
notes,
out the
bowl
fork.
with stomach.
Eating cream with a
I
fork?
Yeah.
Eating cream with a fork?
They're fairies.
they're fairies.
Okay.
So like this is just random set of things. Thought maybe
I
it would
told
work.
you to take the entire
Set-
set.
Set 'em in a
I
circle.
did. I gave it to Theo to put away.
About right. Go from inside, outside to inside.
You
How
like
that works, I don't know.
utensils.
Questions.
I
Pick
just
the one
told
that
him I
you
was like,
Kind of
they're
just
from
use
Frederick.
salad fork for your dessert.
Cream with your salad.
And I announce, like, I have come as a friend, and I am a friend of Colette Dumont, and she told me that you might be able to help me. Here are gifts for you.
You feel a breeze sort of whip around the trees.
Mm-hmm.
It hits your excessively tight bun.
Excessively tight bun.
Oh yeah, no, that thing is like.
Yeah. That's how she gets those eyebrow arches so great.
Keeps them up there.
Her skin is so taut that it actually just deflects bullets.
Nice. It's made out of Kevlar.
You feel it push itself into the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was the eyebrows pushing
there's a
into
bit of silence.
trees.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, that's weird.
there's a quiet, and you're like, this is weird. You're not quite sure what to make of the long silence.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of look around and you see a snowman.
Oh.
A little
There we go.
2-foot snowman
It's the snowman.
Yeah.
with the.
Do you want to meet a snowman?
It has.
Apparently I did.
It has. It has.
be like,
It has two. It has 2 rocks
Mm-hmm.
at its collarbone,
Mm-hmm.
and it has. And it has.
Too high for nipples.
You don't know what this snowman's anatomy
Very
is.
true.
And it has. It has a. It has a. It has pine needles
Pine needles?
as eyebrows.
On brand.
Eyebrows. Okay.
No eyes.
Okay.
No eyes. Just eyebrows.
Just expressive pine needles.
Okay.
And it has like, you can see sort of the red bark on one of the twigs, and sort of a more flaky, peely sort of tea branch on the other limb.
Mm-hmm.
And you see them come together almost in like a prayer or a wait sort of gesture,
Okay.
and then the pine needles sort of relax.
Okay. I am seeking knowledge about
You see the branches shift,
Mhm.
and one of the sticks go like this.
Mm-hmm. Is it kind of stops for a second?
Yeah, and then it goes back to the eyebrows, or the pine needles sort of go to a neutral. You hear the crunching of footfalls in the snow from beyond the snowman.
Okay.
One of the pine needles cocks up at the sound of the crunching,
My eyebrow also cocks up when it cocks up. I was like, could do that too.
and
They're communicating.
and then they sort of rest to a neutral again,
Uh-huh.
and the other branch comes up and twists in a sort of goodbye, and then it dissipates into the snow.
Oh.
The crunching gets louder,
Okay. I was just like,
and out of the trees comes a man and a woman,
Mhm.
in a mixture of native garb as well as Easterner attire, obviously well worn, well maintained, suited for the conditions of winter.
Mhm.
One of them appears to be a Spanish Mexican descent
Mhm.
gentleman, and the other definitely a native woman, much more high cheekbone and that sort of thing. And
Can I tell if they're ghosts?
yes, they're not ghosts.
Okay.
They come out of the clearing and see you,
Mhm.
and the man sort of like is taken aback a minute, and the woman stops,
Mhm.
and she like grabs one of the little pouches on her belt,
Mhm.
and you see both of their heads sort of twitch at the offering in the circle.
Mhm.
The girl doesn't move her hand from the woman doesn't move her hand from the pouch,
Mhm.
but they go. But she says, in a really rough accent,
Mhm.
she says, "Thank you for the gifts. We would talk."
Are you having fun with it?
Yeah.
Are they actually playing with you?
Kind of. I'm having more fun with the cat toy than the cat is to be. So, can I steal soda?
Yes,
Go for it.
go for it.
I have come as a friend, no harm, to seek more knowledge of your people and your ancestors and things that the human eye can't see.
The woman looks very confused. The man sort of says in better English, but also heavily accented.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "We thought your people were leaving. Why do you want to know?"
We are leaving. The day after tomorrow. It is my... And I'm searching for the right word. Is my... Something more than want. I'm going to go. That is my...
Interest? Pleasure?
Interest? Huh?
I said interest, pleasure.
Desire.
No. Desire. No. Desire. No. We'll just go with need. It is...
Compulsion.
Yeah, basically.
In your best interest.
Yeah. No, because it is...
Compulsion, yeah.
It is my need in while my time is here to learn as much as I can about where I am and what I entails.
I am compelled to.
Oh yeah, I was basically.
Anyway, okay.
The woman goes, "Huh," and the man looks over and walks a little bit away from the two of you over to the edge of the circle, and he like kneels down and puts his hand on two equidistant rocks of the circle.
Okay.
And your character's honest about this, that she wants to know what she can about
like I said, the region, the magic, and something like that. That Hannah's life thing was being a school teacher.
Yeah.
You know, a nanny. So like her passion in life is to learn as much as she can while she can, in her afterlife too.
He sort of touches the stones and like listens and looks up at you, and then he looks over at the woman and says, "It's the truth." And she goes, what would you know?"
So just sort of like a summation, so that way we're not doing like detailed questions. Hannah just wants to know, like, is there any magic she can learn from them? What is their folklore history? Like what kind of beasts would be in this area of unseen creatures? You know, like El Chupacabra exists, you just can't see him. You know, that kind of stuff, and just a little bit more about how their people survive, like culturally.
So, they wouldn't be able to teach you any magic.
Okay.
They wouldn't feel comfortable.
Okay, that's fine.
As well as, even if there was someone to teach it, neither of them have the right words to quite articulate that because of your condition you can't learn their magic.
That's fine.
And as far you get the sense that there's a little bit of a "my dad's bigger than your dad and he could beat your dad up" vibe.
Okay.
Fair. When she tells you about
As of this point, they're not wrong.
Yeah.
Atesialaho, who is the adjutant of the region, who lives in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
It is a small creature, yet a huge creature, and it reports directly to the leader of the court of this region. It is the one who had the power to put you all to sleep, so that you would not be a danger to visitors, or the visitors be a danger to you while a summit was being held in the lake. Since then, all the visitors have gone, and you and your pet humans are safe to travel once more. And yeah.
So Hannah expresses that while they were out, they encountered other types of probably fey creatures. So she just wants to know more about what might be in store for them. Like, are there other kind of creatures to be aware of?
Yeah, kinda all over, but none. It's they're like. She's like, that's like asking, are there trees in this forest? That's
Fair.
They're all over. Definitely none as powerful as Atsetsu.
Okay.
But some might give you trouble if you disrespect them, but depending on your path, they don't like interacting with things that aren't actually humans, and most of the humans traveling through this region that aren't natives, they don't want to mess with, because they have different spirits that hang around them, and that's just more conflict. So,
And one last question. Do they have any tricks or tips or ways to get in touch with ghosts of the land if they need to talk to someone else? Does that make you think really hard, your DM brain?
yeah.
I mean, do fairies know much about ghosts? Seems like it would be out of there.
I don't think they're really fairies, though.
So no.
Quote unquote fairies.
The woman is like, some of the spirits are ghosts, but they also are creatures of the land. So if they want to talk to you, they can. The guy sort of clarifies. He's like, I don't know of any, but my uncle, he knows that there are some places east of or west of here where there might be spirits you can talk to, but most of them are going to be angry or in pain, so I don't know how much use they'll be to you.
Alright. I have all my questions answered for now. Thank you. Goodbye.
There's a pointed safe travels from them, and
As in, don't come back, please.
they both sort of wait at the edge of the circle for you to leave.
I leave. Walk back to Lou. More like, alright, cool. I'm gonna go back to camp now, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for waking me up from mine. No.
All right.
I go eat a person to regain some blood points. You said 3, 2,
Yeah, you
3
can safely take 3.
from a human.
Yeah.
Theo is a donated. Alright, I'm done. I think I've gotten all I'm gonna get out of everyone for the rest of the time that we're here, so Hannah just spends the next 24 hours packing up to get ready to go.
So that's everyone for the night.
Yep.
Excellent. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
And you wake up on the 3rd night. Drop a blood point, up a willpower. You can heal if you want to. You leave your friends behind.
Friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're
Nope. Kind of mine.
I'm just trying to go a little bit at a time here. I got one more aggro to heal after this. So now do you tell Frankie about the thing?
Yep. I'm gonna tell every single one of you.
Every single one of you.
Yes. All of you.
Took me a second.
Everybody will be.
I don't think I like this one.
Everyone will know.
It's a Sauvignon Blanc.
It's not the white sangria?
Mm-mm.
Well, you know, like white wine in general, so.
I know, but I like this one. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if Lisa says that, then
So we're gonna take another sip just to make sure.
It's okay.
I was, and I'm like, no, I don't want to.
There were layers. To
I
this.
know. I'm gonna put some.
Put some
A
spray.
huff of hot alcohol puffed through my nose.
I feel like these ones are hit and miss.
Yeah, those are bad.
It's somebody's moonshine.
Right.
Is there something I can roll to figure out what Joe, not Joseph, wait, Joseph, not Joe, would want as a present?
consciousness probably at this point.
I mean, Tasha's just like, I'm gonna give him something I like. Frankie's just like, I mean, I should probably put more thought into it than that. I mean, that's what Tasha says.
It's like my childhood.
Which one is this? Frankie?
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
Frankie,
Your
yes.
grandma used to give me
Frankie. Which one's Frankie?
alcohol.
Frankie's the one that's the most like
Sprite
even.
and
She's
wine.
the neutral.
7-Up.
Yep.
Most even keel.
Anything.
Yeah, and tends to remember more about what the others are doing than the other ones do.
You actually would remember that he's been talking about needing a new pocket knife for since you guys left Laramie. So for almost a year now, he's been kind of grumbling about it and hasn't gotten around to like refitting the one he has, and just every so often his will kind of like pop out of its hinge and he'll grumble about it and pin it back in and
Neat.
hammer the pin back over the tang hole.
Okay, so I've
That's
got
annoying.
like I've got 2 resources, one of which is a temporary one. So anyway, I can use that to barter somewhere. Not over there, probably just with it, but yeah. Otherwise I might try to just.
Do you talk about this at all?
Yeah, of course. I'm like Frankie's like, well, maybe a knife. I have knives. I got plenty of knives, but none of them are like flippy kind.
If you bring this up to Abe while he's smoking and whittling, he'll look at his
We're just both
knife.
sitting over there silently smoking and whittling together.
I
Exactly.
kind of feel like at some point, like Frankie's just like, here's one knife, another knife, a tomahawk, another axe that is silver.
Right.
It's like, but I'm not
It's
sure
like
if
that
any of
scene,
these
like
are the
that
ones
scene
that he
from
would
Batman,
want.
where it's just
Right.
like they're setting out all of the Joker shit that he had in his pockets.
Right.
I think that's all. Oh, and I have a pistol, but I don't think I take that out.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, these, I think that it needs to be more portable than.
I mean, depending on how much you care about the actual materials and the provenance,
Well,
Abe actually, like, he turns his knife to you. He's like, Fred made that one. I'm not gonna ask from what, but that knife works well.
I also have a bone knife. Is it?
Doesn't dull, you know, nice and solid, well balanced.
That feels a little bit like. Oh man, that's racist. But you know what kind of giving I mean.
Sometimes it blinks at me. It's weird.
You know what kind of giving I mean. I'm not gonna say it.
I imagine it's winking at me like, "Hey, how you doing?" Keeps me in good spirits.
So I've got like 2 silvery ones.
These are pretty good.
I mean, are these pocket enough? Most of my knives are just for stabbing people.
Need a good
That's fair.
utility knife. You know what? If you want to go do some bartering, I'll go with you.
That might help.
You'll do the bartering, though.
People kind of don't know how to react to me because they don't know which one I am.
Well, they don't react to me at all because I'm not going to go and talk to them.
Wait, are we the best team to do this then? Because
Nope.
But you need to learn, kid.
Alright.
I mean, I know about bartering. I just can't do it myself. You know, I used to work for the company, right?
The company? You mean the one in the Hudson?
That's right. What else? The company.
The company.
I hear they reach all the way down to here now.
Not that
What? I mean, heard of them. Okay.
Alright, get your things.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of weapons I could potentially trade with somebody.
Pocket all your cutting stuff right here.
Cutting stuff. Alright. So yeah, who would I talk to?
Where are you guys headed?
I figured someone in the camp that would use lots of knives. I don't know.
Well,
Something-
there's town close.
Fred is like.
Well, like I said, Russ has been basically hanging out over here, hanging out with this guy, like whittling, looking over.
Russ is witness to this.
Yeah. Russ probably knows the area more than most, so.
Well,
Let me double
I
check.
mean, we can't actually go to the town, right? They think that we've got the sickness or something.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's eased up a bit. Like you've actually had a couple visitors besides Levina.
Sorry.
Actually, her husband, as well as Mr. and Mrs. Taylor, have visited. And the fact that they didn't come back with the pox has spread through town. That
Yeah, but then this guy comes in. It's like, oh!
I guess that no, he wouldn't help. That the sickness has
I have the permanent
broken.
box.
And
I'm looking to see if any of the people on my list of people that I
Can
know
Fred like
would
temporarily
no.
rearrange your face if he wanted to?
I can, in fact. However, it reverts
We'll
back.
go back.
It reverts back after he rests.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I meant, like temporarily. Like
It's
he could be
also-
like,
it's also
we
a
gotta
bit
go
of a
somewhere where you
taboo.
need to be like.
Yeah.
Thank you,
There's
like
a
that's
bit
so
of a-
weird.
There's a bit of a history.
Fred would probably be very willing, but he also knows that it's exceptionally rude.
Mhm.
So,
Just curious.
which it wouldn't stop him.
Over-
It's just, you know.
Over the centuries, it's like, we'll fix you.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list of
Yeah,
people
Russ,
that Russ knows here.
any trading posts in town? Where would someone go if they were planning
Actually,
an extended trip?
What you call it? Mr. Lapham
Oh, yeah,
is
William.
actually
It's okay.
his sort of structure. Well, his tent that is in the foundation, and a couple A-frames that just lay naked like a skeleton in the snow. His forward tent acts as a sort of general store for the encampment.
I mean, yeah, we can go talk to Willie. I'm sure he'd be willing to help us. Find a nice piece of gear for your friend there, who you done ate. But
Done did dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as I mean, you know, they know me in town, so if I'm sure I could go with you if
I
you
mean, I
want.
was about to ask, what would we have to do for him to open a store this late?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good point. He's probably pretty asleep by now. I don't know what time of night it currently would be, but
Not too late. I imagine this happens shortly after. Oh no! This is early of the third night.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, I think I have an idea.
it might still be
Alright.
open.
At the very least, I'm pretty sure that I can coax William into letting us peruse his wares, and you can find something very nice to apologize with.
That sounds alright.
Now that there fella, you done nibble at everybody there.
Yeah.
You
Hit
can-
down, dang on. Yep.
We're fucking hanging out here with Boomhauer.
Basically. So
Frankie's trying real hard not to say that was Tasha though, because he
Russ-
kind of understands.
Russ heads back to his tent
Mhm.
and hops on. Comes on. Annie, you in here?
Yeah, she's like over here, and you look up, and she's on a stool in the like kitchen-y area, and she's sort of slowly but surely packing up various doodads and kitsch.
Well, he does the husbandly thing, giving her a hug and smooch and all that kind of stuff. But he now, darling, I have a question to ask you, if you don't mind. Do you have any more of them scones that you made the other day?
She's like, oh yeah, right there in the pail there, and there's a little like dry pantry cupboard that you made, and if you pop it open, yeah, there's a little basket, and wrapped in a cloth. There's a little pile of them.
I'm gonna.
Ow! Actually,
No.
halfway through, it's actually going more to the right, but
I need.
see, I barely had any. I just wanted to try it. You know, it's probably real good with the chocolate
Your
syrup.
mom!
You put the,
Get some chocolate syrup.
just drizzle it on her.
What kind is that? Caramel apple oat milk. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so you find the scones.
Yeah. Don't get mad, but I am gonna take a couple of these so I can go butter up William for. I need to help one of our friends over there in the camp.
Well, if you're gonna butter someone up, you better take butter. And she like motions over at the little fixins tray that you guys have.
Yeah, you're very right. That's why
So
I need
true.
That's why I like having you around here.
She's like, take the honey, because you know he likes the honey.
Yeah, okay. And he starts packing all of it.
Yeah, she
Yes,
like
dear.
guides you. Yeah, and you take a little
Gift basket.
gift
that earlier?
pack. And so Russ emerges from his tent with a small bento box.
It's even got the little like sausages that are like made into squids.
Yeah, it's
The good West American bento
adorable.
box. Just butter and honey.
Yeehaw, how?
Now, yeehaw ni hao.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Holy shit.
Now.
Sorry.
Who are you? I forgot. Who are you today?
Ohio,
It's
yeehaw.
I'm Frankie today.
Frankie. Now Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
He takes this little pouch and he kind of hands it to you.
Okay.
Says, "Now we're gonna go talk to Mr. Latin, and you're gonna tell him that you got these from Miss. I forgot what I even had his last name was. Yeah. You got these from Mrs. McDaniel, and that you would like to trade for a new pocket knife."
That'll work?
Oh yes, I'm
Yeah.
certain it will.
No, yeah. You're like, oh hell yeah. That's
You don't understand. He every time Andy makes these, they come out of the little the cooking oven that we got over the fire, and he is knocking on the post trying to get inside of our tent.
How did these ones not escape his notice then?
Oh, we
Practice?
we snuck those off. Yeah.
So,
Also, every so often, I just have to stand out in front of the tent and tell him no.
so you know what? since I'm getting this, I'm going to give you this. And I give one of my souvenirs. And say, hey, trade's a trade. This is... I don't want to have to owe you and your Mrs. Also. So.
Well, no. That's totally fair. That is mighty fine of you, darling. And he puts it in a pouch, or one of his.
Sometimes I do okay.
See, now you're getting it. You go look at what he has. Pick what you feel would work for Joe.
Alright.
Just trust your gut. Just remember, ruggedness and utility above ornament.
Picks a rapier. I don't even know where he got a rapier from.
Fucking filigree rapier.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it a pocket rapier? Is it like it folds out into a rapier somehow?
It's like a cane sword.
It's all
It's an
scoping
automatic
rod.
rapier. It's just a hilt, and you push the button. And it goes.
Okay, that would be really cool. But, so,
Very, very anachronistic.
so I guess
Anyway.
we go over to.
Yeah, you guys wander through town, through the camp, so to speak.
I stand the edge.
There's one or two glances of at you, Frankie, of concern, and then they see Russ, and the concern goes to mild interest, and then you guys walk on.
All right.
And yeah, you get up to the town hall, so to speak, and there's a small bonfire between three tents. One of them is obviously the tailors, and then of course the one inside the husk is the Lapham General Store, and you actually see you see Regina, which is Mrs. Taylor.
I never got the first name. Cool. Okay. I got Lavinia, which is Lapham, and I got Almond Taylor and William Taylor, but I never got Regina.
Yeah. So you see Regina actually working on a large pot next to the fire, and she seems to be checking it every so often. She goes, "Oh, well, I see the sick walk."
Oh, welcome. It's good to see you too, Regina. How are you?
Oh yeah, no, good to see you all made it. It's like,
Yeah.
anything that lasts that long, pretty
You
sure you have to bury a whole.
I'll tell you what. Them folk that came in with the last wagon train there, they got a couple of good doctors in there.
Oh yeah, no, everyone's a little worried about that German man, because they got worked on him right before the sick hit, and so everyone who got something done by him, they were all worried that they were gonna catch something, and they didn't. But the fact that the whole wagon train plus you and Annie up there, whew.
Well, sometimes it just comes in waves. You never know how these things hit. I mean,
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I guess.
Canada.
yeah, no, for real. Hey, have you? Is William around? Have you seen him?
Oh yeah. Bill. Bill. You see someone stick their head out of her tent, and it's Alman. He's like, "Why are you yelling for Bill at this hour?" Oh, good.
Howdy. Good to see you.
Yeah, he comes out and he's like,
Wait.
"All right, yeah, no, good." And then out comes William. And he's like, "What?"
Oh, Bill, it's good to see
Open
you.
basket.
He goes, "Hi again." Oh.
Hi, Bill. I know it's been a minute, but we have a favor to ask.
Oh well, you always welcome. Like you can tell the waft hit. He's like, I've always got time for you and Annie and anyone you consider friends. Yeah, what's going on? How can we help?
Well, William, this is Frankie. This is my good friend Abe's daughter, and she did a little bit of a social what does Amy call that? A fox paz?
Yeah, fox
I've heard that
pass.
one
Yeah,
before, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
I did something rude and I wanted to apologize, and I'm looking for a really good pocket knife. And I went to Mrs. McDonald and asked for some of these scones. Yummy scones.
Oh, he looks over at you. He's like, oh, you do keep good company. Smart as a whip, young missy. Okay, well, come on in. Let's get shopping. he toggles the flap of the tent. He's like, for particular payment, we are open late. And he turns on a little lantern hanging up in there, and there's just boxes and bags of shit all over. He's like, so let me see here, and he like puts himself in front of a crate that's obviously empty, that's been upended, that he uses as his desk and checkout. And he goes, hold on, let me see here, and he pulls out a small roll. And for anyone who knows what a brag bag is, that's effectively what this is. And he rolls it out, flips it open, and there's 5 little folders in there of various sizes and types.
So, my understanding is that he is one to like something that's functional, but not too fancy, but nicer than your usual thing. Something that can do the job, but also look on your belt or in your pocket.
He sort of moves his finger across the gathered items as you describe, and he goes, this one here, buffalo horn, treated, so that it's waterproof, and this one has a back lock, so it'll click into place, stay sturdy, and then you just push it down, and it'll pop itself back in, keeps it nice and tight. And this one, this was actually made in the Ozarks, so the gentleman who made it knows what he was doing. And so that one, I absolutely feel is a excellent option for the person you're describing.
Yeah, I heard that he's been having trouble with the blade kind of like latching out of place and stuff. That stuff about it being tight and things sounds pretty good.
I don't know what type of lock mechanism he has, but this one's a newer style. It's real sturdy. This should definitely help with that.
All right.
And if he's not too attached to his old one, feel free to bring it back, or bring it back to me, and I'll put it to use as a refurbishment.
All right, I can ask.
That sort of thing, if he wants. I know some people are partial, even if they don't want the thing anymore, or even if they can't use the thing anymore, it's a sentimental value thing. I get it.
Yeah, you get it too. Sometimes I feel that way about my stabby bits.
Aha!
Oh, yeah.
Well, so he sort of flips one of the flaps back over onto the rest, and he slides the buffalo horn handled folder towards you, and he's like, "Do we have a deal, miss? This knife for the basket of goodies."
I believe so. Please enjoy.
Excellent. Same. Oh. And he's sort of just
slowly. Gotta like smell the aroma, go wafted in.
As he's kind of getting into the scones, Russ claps him very softly on the shoulder. Thank you for your help, William. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it very much.
If you don't mind, if you wouldn't mind throwing in a pouch or 2 of that delicious black cherry tobacco I know you have in the back there.
Well, it's under some stuff right now, and he sort of glances over to Pal. He's like, but by the end of the night, and maybe after a couple of these, it will be in your camp.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I would like to let you know that, and you can tell this to the others if I don't get to them sooner, that I believe myself and Annie will be taking off with this this crew of newbies going off out west. So we may not be seeing you much for the near future. But
yeah, the Scones have almost left his his consciousness at this mention. He's like, yeah, no, Annie's mentioned it to a couple of us already, and we think it's good. We think it's
that's fair. It's time for us to move on a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
there's lots else out there.
Yeah, and the lake is real pretty.
Well, it'll be here if you ever need it.
Well, thank you very much, Will. And we will see you on the next night.
Yeah, he shakes your hand and he's like, yeah, it's good to have you while you were here.
It was good to be here. Oh, is that what is she cooking over there? He's looking at the lake. He just kind of walks over to that pot.
Yeah, he's like that's stock. That's getting set for later. That's
I know that's gonna be so good in like 4 days. She's
gonna work it down and then make sure. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can convince him to let go. No.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I have some business to tend to. He pulls out like a griddle. He's like, gotta get these back up to toast.
He looks
at slap him.
Yeah,
thank you.
Was it because it was Regina who was out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't see those. Okay.
Yeah, no, she do you imagine she's around?
Yeah.
And yeah, if you get too close to that pot, Regina's there with the spoon.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, it's broth.
That's right.
It's the base.
I already know it's tasty.
There's nothing in it but the bones.
There's nothing in it but delicious. Is what's in there. Give me the bones. There's someone else back at the camp who would be mindful to have those bones. Thank you very much. But yeah, no, that's fine.
Fred doesn't treat him right.
Yeah.
He doesn't treat him
you don't want the stock that he makes out of bones.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too chunky.
Yeah. So all right, cool. So we got you a knife.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the help.
Well, you're welcome. Of course, I know that Abe, as good of a fellow as he is, has a little bit of a problem sometime being out in public, but I don't want you to be able to operate, to do things, to be a person out here. It gets kind of. I'm not good with words. I apologize.
People are just weird and judgmental about stuff.
Yeah, they generally are. It's how people kind of get along out here.
Superficial things.
Everywhere.
What's the point? But I get it, and I don't think Daddy minds too much. He likes being alone. For the most part.
Abe is outside of the city right now, continuing his whittling, whistling, smoking his pipe.
They're not the same trees, but they're pretty close.
They're a little more red.
A little taller.
The stars are shifted a bit, but most of them are there.
That's right. It's nice and crisp.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks.
Are you going to take the gift to Joseph the same evening, or?
Yeah, I think so. Mostly because if I don't, who knows
Likely
what will happen.
Yeah. So you guys trek back to camp after resisting being swatted with a spoon once or twice. And the smell of the reheated scones following you along. Yeah.
He's like he has to stop himself from going back there.
Yeah, right. And
there's more at the house. I know it.
Yeah, no, and he'll fight you. Fight you.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, these are mine. I paid for them fair and square. This is a conversation you've had. And you get back to camp, and it's pretty quiet.
It's like you got yourself something good out there, like
Yeah. I show the buffalo knife. Says it was made in some place called the Ozarks.
Oh yeah.
Don't know if I actually know where that is.
You might not. You're from farther north.
Too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it sounded real important though.
Well, that looks like a good blade. So.
Yeah. If you I think anyone would just be like, if it was made by actual mountain folk, then they know what they're doing.
Mhm.
Yep, that's usually the rule. I use the one that Fred made me for whittling, and everything else is my good old camp knife.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm square too. I gave Russ one of my knives for the scones and the vitel. The was a bit of
I
a.
started with a paperclip.
So everything's square, and I just got to give this to him.
Traded up all the way, and now I have a horse for some reason.
Some weird adventure game quest
Love
where
it.
it's like we traded like 5 different items. I had to run from one end of the camp to the next.
I mean, yeah, it's more or less.
That's great.
Thank you for your help, Russ.
So you.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I got something coming for you as well.
You don't need to, but I appreciate it.
Hey, we're like-minded fellas. I think you'll appreciate it.
Do you go into the bunkhouse as it's been dubbed?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I assume that I know roughly where he's, or where I find him, and so
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking.
so he's actually sat up in the bunk. As it's been a couple nights, he's had a little time to recuperate, and he's sort of conscious here and there. He's sort of positioned himself so that the light from the lantern hits a small book that he's reading.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I try to, like, to make sure that he knows I'm there. I actually, like, knock on something nearby. Like, it's enough of the sound that he lifts his head.
Yeah, he like looks up like, who the hell would knock? And looks down and goes, oh, hi.
Hi, Joseph. So a couple of days ago, I did something stupid, and it risked your life, and I've been trying to figure out a good way to apologize for it. I mean, it wasn't my best.
And who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
I'm Frankie.
Oh, okay.
Still, you know, whatever's going on in my head, it's still something that I gotta be responsible for. So, I wanted to offer my apologies and also a little peace offering, and gives the knife over.
Oh, he goes, oh, well, no, yeah, I appreciate that a lot, actually. Sort of he says that at the apology, and you hold up the knife, and he goes, oh, what? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I got it over at Mr. Lapham's store. I asked him what sort of knife to get for somebody that wanted something both functional and attractive.
he kind of chuckles. He goes, did you tell him who it was for?
No.
I've been looking at this knife for 10 years.
He's like,
Right.
I've actually been asking him about this for the last couple months.
Aw.
Wow. Well, I tried to give my best summary of what I thought you might like. I asked around a little bit. I hope that's not too creepy. I just want to make sure you liked it.
No, I do. This is actually pretty great. Thank you.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would totally go near dead again.
He's like he actually turns it over, and there's like a scrawl in the bone on the opposite side of like the grain. And he goes, you can tell from this mark here, some old coot in a holler was the one that put this thing together.
Oot and a holler.
Yeah, I said something about the Ozarks or someplace.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, it sounded like it was something pretty good.
Yeah.
It said something about locking and...
Yeah, it's a backlock.
Yeah.
It clicks. Yeah.
That thing, something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm glad that's something you like.
He sort of gets the hint. He's like, yes, thank you. Yes, I very much appreciate it. I will be using it as soon as able. And he's sort of like.
Oh, right. There was one more thing. He said, Mr. Lapham said that if you wanted to give your old knife back, you could refurbish it and give it some other use somewhere else, if you want. I'm willing to go and give it over, or find someone to do it for me, I suppose.
Oh yeah.
Or you can go do it yourself. I'm thinking for his
Okay,
great construction.
He goes, I'll think about that. Yeah. All right.
Just thought I'd pass that on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
Please don't try to eat me again.
hopefully I will
mean,
not.
unless you're going to buy me another really nice knife, in which case then...
I will not do that again.
I'd appreciate that too.
And kind of just like
awkward slide.
leaves.
Yeah. Although you do hear like the click of the mechanism a few times as you walk away. It's you get the sense that it's very well received. That it was all very honest.
All right. Okay. Well, I did my thing for the night.
Anyone else for the third night before you leave?
I guess since I haven't said anything
about the baby.
No, Pip is actually avoiding everyone.
Oh no!
Do you have the baby?
Nope.
Okay.
She is avoiding everyone other than pleasantries if you pass by her.
Oh, that's right. It's the...
She is sitting off somewhere reading.
She's facing the
or
reality
or
that the
writing.
ghouls might leave. If you're weed.
Oh, right, because we...
Yeah.
She is just... there is a constant, like, cup of tea that every now and then either Patricia or Jean-Pierre comes and just heats back up again.
I was about to say, do you
Sit next to her.
do you make someone drink the cold one so you can have a fresh one?
Nope, they just keep reheating that one.
Okay.
She's got a half a bloody handkerchief because she just keeps dabbing every now and then, and just avoids everyone in a corner. There's no humming, there's no singing, there's no storytelling, there's no poetry.
She's just very upset about
I
this.
just feel like at some point we just like sit there and go.
In that case,
Something's missing. Something's missing.
On the third day, before we get ready to leave, Hannah goes to see Fred.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, okay.
Knock on the door.
Hello. You see Bertram. His face is like.
Oh, and
right
she's gone
here.
back
He's
to
like,
calling everyone by their last names again.
I go,
Hi, Hannah.
hi.
Right back out.
Yeah.
I'm still...
Is Fred home?
Yes,
Frederick, I need to speak to you.
Hannah.
Yes, I can... But the cart is literally... I'm standing next to you.
I didn't see it.
Just grinning.
It's kind of in the way.
He just pats
happy.
Bertram on the head.
Okay.
Go sit down over there, please.
Okay. He goes and sits down.
I'm still not really comfortable with the fact that he learned how to talk entirely.
We were gone for 9 months. He kept getting fed. Who knows?
You hear the latch on the foot locker open.
Yeah. Just leave him be with his collection.
Yeah, this noise sounds from inside
Is he tapping?
Sure. Not with his feet.
No, I know. Is he like playing with his feet?
Yeah.
They're definitely.
he's
Is he
something.
doing that thing like with the forks and the potatoes?
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking. That's what I keep thinking. Yeah.
That is one of his staples, if you will.
Bertram's the best character of this entire game.
He's the real protagonist.
We're all just side characters.
French, a memoir.
It's just a picture of him with a smoking jacket and a pipe.
And
But
a
it's
foot.
not a pipe, it's a foot. You can picture it with the toes.
Alright. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, gross.
Anywho.
Oh, you're horrible.
Yes.
I blame you all.
Frederick.
So sorry.
Yes.
I need you to do something about Mrs. Sterling. She can't go on with this.
What do you mean?
Have you not seen her?
Actually, no one's seen her.
That's a very good point.
Yes, that is my point. No one has seen her.
No one has heard her.
No one has heard much from her. She is obviously very distraught at your suggestion about her ghoul leaving her.
Okay.
Cookie trundles by with a push cart full of supplies from from in town. And just keeps walking. Clickety clank, clickety clank.
To go talk to her and reassure her.
But
Yes?
let me
Let me say something.
The eyebrow.
You're suggesting that she is concerned that the girl is that she consistently abuses to just an extraordinary degree, even for me, really, is going to leave her, and that is some sort of surprise.
I didn't say it was a surprise, I said she was distraught!
Well, that is, or that you would be. So far as I know, she hates seeing Chloe. Like, seeing her just brings out ire in her eyes. And
I admit their relationship is complicated, but one usually is with ghouls.
Well,
You're a
And none
of you know who Chloe is.
Nope.
Backwards.
yeah, no, that's entirely the point. Yeah, none of us.
No one
we
knows
just know that
anything
you
about
can't-
it.
We just know that basically every time we see Chloe like do something, it's like backhand.
You
So-
actually hear
I didn't get anything because I saw your dead husband.
he's a
Yeah, but
But you never told me.
yeah, no one,
Okay.
no
She
one
hasn't-
knows.
She hasn't
where...
given any of us the actual.
No, I
backstory.
wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
You actually heard a snort from behind you somewhere at that.
Who was snorting other than me?
You.
You don't know. No,
No, as Lisa.
Oh.
Who was snorting other than me? As in Lisa.
no, in character.
Oh, okay.
Hannah hears
Oh.
a snort from behind her.
I look behind me. Do I see anything?
There's
What's his ass?
her ex-husband sitting on a tailgate, smoking a pipe.
Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Mr. Edwards.
You come here.
Oh my! Look at the
No,
time.
no! Don't you dare evaporate on me. You come here.
I have a bit of an
Miss-
interest.
You,
Miss Allen,
as I do. Hush for one just moment.
I can't see this guy.
No.
She addresses the down tailgate.
I look at him
People
and I
always
was
thought
like,
that I was crazy. I mean, I still don't know about it.
You know, I've never seen anybody have an aneurysm in real life.
This is
I look at
wonderful.
him and I was
Take
like,
Are you stroking out?
Still have those. I mean, technically, there's no blood up there.
I know it's terrible.
No, I think there's actually too much blood upset.
Chloe cannot leave
Just
Mrs.
explode.
Sterling. It would not be appropriate.
I don't see why not. You said not to go. Now you're saying to go. Okay.
I am saying to go.
Should I stay or should I go now?
You see a couple ethereal puffs from the pipe.
Miss Allen,
Yes.
if it's that troublesome to you, I will go talk to Miss Sterling.
Thank you.
I'm fine driving.
I'm not going to suggest that I would. Damn it.
Hannah glares past your shoulder at him. She's just like,
I'm not going to
How I
suggest
wish
that I will
You had
actually
a
be able
bubble
to.
pipe.
Yeah.
Just like,
Is that I will actually be able to bring her out
bubble coming out.
of her depression. As I said before, if we are to treat these schools as effectively our children, we must give them more freedom.
have you spoken to Chloe and Daryl about their wishes? I mean, we did remind them that.
Well, I've spoken to Daryl about it, and he's all for it. Or
About-
at the very least, he is willing to. I think I remember him saying he was.
Is Daryl going to de-ghoulify himself?
Daryl definitely voiced that he wished to stay in your employ, but whatever you chose, he would abide by.
Yeah.
And Frederick very well knows that that is an effect of the blood.
Yeah.
That whether or not that's his true desire is
Yeah.
very, very cloudy.
And Miss Allen, of course, she knows that is the exact point. Talking to them is entirely worthless at this point because they only think
I do know this.
of what we want.
But what about the baby?
As a child will be fine. They will care for the child. That
The child won't be a ghoul anymore.
was the child a ghoul? Actually,
I thought
actually,
we
that's a good point, is
thought
that
we had this.
did we
discussion.
determine whether or not the child was a ghoul in the first place?
It was a very fucking strong baby. It almost ripped my hair out, so...
That's true,
It
yeah.
is very likely a ghoul, but it is not clear how long it will stay that way.
Because there's no, I mean,
It's
I would
not
imagine
directly being fed.
blood.
It's like inherited. But
It's getting
cycle out.
milk from the mother who is getting blood from a vampire.
Exactly. I was
So-
like, the baby will lose its powers.
The baby. I mean, to be fair, degoulification, losing the bond. How long does that take?
It can be as quick as 3 nights. It can be as long as years, depending on how long it was. If you both want to make an int plus occult or a vampire, what was the one you had? That's
I have Kindred Society etiquette.
oh, okay. No, that doesn't.
No, yeah.
I have int plus occult though, so
I do have a cult.
Yeah.
And plus a cult.
Yep. Difficulties.
I mean, I have knowledge.
Let's go with 7. No, it's not book knowledge. And then
2 successes on a 7.
right.
Again, wow, these dice are banned forever. Forever.
Oh wow.
Another crit, another botch.
Oh yeah, like a major. I cannot remember for the life of her what happens.
Yeah.
She's like, somewhere long ago, I heard it once, and it's
None
just
of them.
gone.
None of them last that long. You're like they either get turned or they get ate. It's all just boogeyman stories. You can't trust any of it.
Anyways,
Boogeyman stories.
You're like you knew a gentleman once of your lineage who kept pets, and with these 3, you'd imagine the kid wouldn't be ghouled longer than a week or a month. If it quit cold turkey. And as for Daryl, he'd probably be good in about a month or less. Chloe's a little trickier because I don't think you're 100% sure you know how long she's been.
No, I said she's been my ghoul for like a decade.
A decade.
yeah.
When we had the initial argument.
That'll probably take anywhere from a few months to a year, but she would just then age out to however long she is, and over that time the bond weakens, and and their power wanes, and they become vanilla humans again.
Yeah. And do we know how long it takes for them to be like? So the entire time they're still ghouls and still working that off, they're totally like, yeah, gung ho vampire, or is it wane and wax?
It tapers.
Okay.
It as soon as they stop receiving those gifts of blood, it starts to tick off little by little.
Yeah.
And I might add, if we don't keep them as ghouls, then that will be 3 more humans we have to look after if they continue to remain with us.
This is true. But, well, I would suggest that
Humans are not very hardy.
You hear
on
someone
the
from behind
distance
you.
road.
Well, not if you don't breed them, right?
Mr. Edwards.
Yes,
Yeah, I know. I was like,
He's like, that's why you buy them in good stock, and then you breed them.
Wow, fuck. This guy's terrible.
My husband, everyone.
Yeah.
I look at him, I was like,
It's 9:00 p.m.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry. Just
Meanwhile,
yes,
someone has to
I
take
know.
medicine.
Giving your opinion when it is not warranted this time.
Well, I figured
I said you could leave,
as
sir.
fellow owners,
I said good
thought
day.
maybe you could have some input.
I understand, Miss Aaron, I understand that there are things that you can see that I cannot, but screaming into the void like that is going to cause everybody.
He's right next to him, like,
I look at him, I was like, Frederick,
Yes.
I have stopped commenting on how you play with people's dead body parts. You will let me scream into the void as I wish.
the eyes kind of like,
Ooh.
I mean, they're not using them anymore, so...
I understand. It weirds everyone else out.
Mr.
So does my
Edwards
screaming into the void and let it stand.
feigns offense, like, how dare he use anybody parts? Unspeakable.
I'm trying to like.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
I will go speak
I'm
to
pretty
Miss...
sure his first name was John because I was like dumb, simple names, but
Yeah.
Mr. Edwards.
I will go speak with Miss Sterling.
Thank you.
As will I.
As I said, I cannot guarantee that...
Not good.
I cannot guarantee that she will, or that we will come to an agreement that she will be happy with, or that I will be able to bring her out of her funk.
Is funk a word at this point?
I have no idea.
No, we'll just go with
Malaise.
Malaise, yes.
Malaise. I do like malaise.
At the very least, I know the German last name Funk has been around for a very long time.
There you go.
That was my grandfather's name. So
That's
Really?
amazing.
My grandfather's
Are
last
you
name.
full of funk?
Yes.
Sweet.
Fantastic. I'm sure this is.
Oh, man, that's
My mom,
awesome.
let me just point this out. My mom grew up in
A jelly is her
Alabama
Uh-huh.
in the 70s
With the last name Funk. Bunk or Funk?
Funk, F-U-N-K.
Oh, Funk. Okay, a Funk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She grew up in the 70s with the last name Funk.
Oh, man. I bet
In
she couldn't wait to
Alabama.
get married.
Oh, yeah.
She's funky.
I just look at him and was like, thank you. Also, please, when you see her, tell her Mr. Edwards is about. You stay away from her.
Well, if you were a full citizen, I might listen to you.
Who is Mr. Edwards?
She is, actually.
Yeah.
Is
Why
he-
wouldn't it be a full citizen?
Because you don't have. You don't
Oh,
have
you're a
vote.
woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Right.
What? Is he-
What an asshole!
So there actually is somebody right here.
We can talk about it later, Frederick. I have
He
to-
starts
this
swinging
is-
around,
I have
like trying to
like-
It just
Like-
flings through.
I know.
He's like.
Is it
he's like,
am I inside of his face? Is that what's happening? Is it? Does that work?
There's a pipe outside of the hand, and he's like, well, that's new.
Hannah just
He's
bares
thinking-
teeth at him,
He's
and
thinking about it in a second. He's like, I need to get the ball. No, wait,
Yeah.
no, I have things to do.
and then Hannah leaves. Thank you, Fred, as she says through snarled teeth.
Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome, Miss Allen. I guess I'm going to go and walk over and talk to Miss Sterling.
Mrs. Sterling,
Mrs. Sterling.
you are haunted by that tobacco smell once more,
Mm-hmm.
and you.
Just not paying it any mind. just in my book.
The thought does cross your mind that can people change? That's a silly thought.
It is a
Why
very
would,
silly thought.
why would you think
On
such
the
a
way
thing?
he's walking over there, he does the Thor call for the ball.
The ball floats up and hovers next to
The
you.
Thor call for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And just that's if there's a weird ghost about, it's the only thing that I've used so far to be able to see weird ghosts.
Mhm.
So.
You also smell an odd tobacco aroma, but it actually resolves itself into a nice cherry aroma. Abe and Russ have been granted this wondrous gift, and of course need to sample it.
I told you this stuff's
Right
good,
away.
right?
No, I mean, you weren't hiding. What was that hiding all this time?
Lapham makes that stuff himself. When he gets the stuff, he's got like this weird little paste that he puts on. He stuffs it in a barrel. I've seen him do it. It's really it's so good.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
Hey, can I have some too?
sure.
Frankie.
You got
Frankie
your own
does
pipe.
this.
It was not.
You got your own pipe, don't you?
Yeah.
You know how to load it?
I haven't gotten to do it in a little while. I mean, I'm only.
Then grab a log.
It's
I'm only
been a
14.
That's right. Well, Abe, you
Well,
were
in
there when
this
that
day and age,
happened.
14
Abe had a
yeah,
moment
yeah.
where it was like, well, it's not going to stunt their growth.
It's not really gonna cause it. No.
Nope.
Alright, don't tell your sisters.
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure how they would know.
I'm
Is
fine
that
with
that
you
their
doing
mouth-
it.
Clothes smell
If it maybe Tasha will be like, my mouth smells weird.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the other ones. Tasha will set shit on fire.
I got fucking warning breath, guys, and I don't know how that works. Smells like cherries.
And Liza is scandalous. Did somebody go kiss
She
him
won't try
while
it.
I was not awake?
She won't try
didn't
it. Stella
record it.
doesn't care.
In the journal?
It needs to go in the journal.
Anyway. So yeah, I sit back doing the thing. Kind of following along.
Nice.
Just the idea of you like two old guys like sitting there like smoking a pipe and like a 14-year-old girl just like ha ha ha.
Are you 16?
I look 14.
Oh, okay.
That just makes me laugh. It's very nice. I like it.
Yep. Just leaning.
So
sitting on
Fred
logs.
wanders over to Mrs. Sterling.
And knocks on.
Oh, she's literally out,
Oh.
like just in a far corner of camp,
Oh, okay.
on a chair with a table, and just away.
Out and about.
Yeah. She's being the most Toreador.
You get a nod from Jean-Pierre, who's also on a stool, aback from within beck and call, but not in her space.
Close enough to notice when the steam stops rising from the tea.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like a proper footman.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he's supposed to be.
Mrs. Sterling?
Mr. von Sleeman does
I
not look good.
Yeah. I hope your evening is well. I have been asked to come over and speak with you by our mutual friend.
How sincere.
Miss Sterling.
Mrs. Sorry.
Frau?
Oh yes, that's right, Frau. I would be saying it.
Frau.
Yeah.
Frau would help.
Frau Sterling.
Yes, Mr. von Sleeman.
I understand that you are understandably upset.
I don't think you understand anything about me, sir.
Well, I know that if... Is there another chair there, or is there...
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Fists on your hips.
Yeah. I am aware that if I was asked to allow Bertram to leave my employ, it would be strangely emotionally hard for me.
I don't care where Mary goes.
Then what is the issue? You are upset over...
Do you know how young it was when I became embraced?
I do not know, but judging by your age, judging by your appearance...
Oh.
Early 20s?
It's 19, Mr. von Sleeman. I had been married for 4 years, and any time I had needed any sort of affection, it was beat out of me. Can you smell the tobacco in the air?
Well, the two of them are...
Not theirs. The stale one.
The three.
Yes, as a matter of fact...
There's a fair amount of coughing happening.
Maybe plus a cult.
Right.
Difficulty 5.
You don't need to try this hard. You don't even need to breathe this stuff anymore.
Really 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, way above that. I got like 4 successes. Yeah, 4 successes.
Crazy
he
enough.
has the ball with him, so...
Crazy
Yeah.
enough, that first waft that you were like, oh no, it's them with the cherry.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was there earlier when you were talking to Miss Allen.
Yeah. Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, I do.
Yes, that scent belongs to Mr. John Edwards, my late husband.
So that's who she was talking to.
Yes.
Miss Allen was giving your ex-husband a piece of...
Turns a page.
A piece of her mind.
Oh, wonderful. He's bothering other people now.
Well, I think she's the only other person who can see him.
Where do you do that, though?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since he's been around.
Oh, yes, yes,
Like, it's
yes.
been a long time
yes.
since I've actually seen him.
Yeah.
True story. When he got tired of me, he started taking mistresses. And this one particular one encouraged him to end my life.
Do you say this internally or out loud?
Stopping me from being able to achieve anything past 19 years of age. I made Chloe. She does not exist. What Daryl thinks is a lovely, poor woman who's been beaten by her mistress is a complete work of my fiction. And when she stops imbibing my blood, she will be merry, she will be heartless, she will be terrible, and who is to know what has happened to that child? But go ahead, you let them go, and take away the one last chance I had at normal life. Good day. Back to our book.
Self-control roll, please.
Oh, yes. There's none.
Break that chivalry knee.
Difficulty 8.
Oh, this might be her sobbing again.
Yeah.
Oh.
1.
Alright. Make me another one, difficulty 8.
None.
I imagine when she says good day, you click your heels smartly together and give the bow and say Frau Sterling and
Yeah.
it stuns you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just enough of proper gentlemanly.
He was dismissed. He listened.
It was just enough that it clicked in, and it's that
Page halfway.
It's that terrible. It's that terrible. You might as well have been staked.
Yeah.
You, the part of you that sings in your blood, just locks up.
Dead.
That such a creature should be so well versed. But then underneath that,
Just roiling black monster.
the thing that understands him a bit is writhing, growling.
Yeah.
It wants to tear apart that cute little boy sitting behind you, and then tear every hole into Mary that you'd ever imagine putting into her.
Yeah.
Before he leaves, as he good day, son, and he turns and he stops, and turns back again and says, "Frau Sterling,
Frozen.
I would like you to know that I do consider that child to be my grandson, or my granddaughter, right?
Son.
Grandson.
I
Yeah.
consider that child to be my grandson, as I no doubt assume consider it to be yours. So be it well known that if anything were to happen to the child, or there were to be any threat to it, that the thing that caused that threat would cease to exist in a very quick fashion." Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's expecting an answer.
No. And then he notices that as that. Well, I'm sure she heard me, and he wheels off.
You find it fascinating that the emotions you've been clicking back and forth over the tea that never that never gets drank would suddenly come full force into your being all at the same time, and then somewhere behind the screaming, shrieking through your brain, you hear this. And, I think I know your thoughts on it, but, I'm not going to put words into her mouth as far as that's concerned.
In any case, he goes over to join them because that tobacco actually smelled really good.
It does, and it is real tasty.
Yeah. He
It's
pulls out his giant pipe.
Of course it's huge.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh yeah,
It's a ram's horn.
that's a nice meersham. It's like, oh man, look at this. It's like amateurs.
Yeah.
Why is it so big though?
You're gonna take it all.
Does it taste better that way?
You see, the key is the airflow. It brings more flavor in. I don't even know if that's real. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like blowing like rings.
Like Turnzak's dad.
Making
That's
some
not
tasty
real, is
clouds.
it?
Yeah.
Back home we call
Ripping
it
fat
stove
clouds.
That's right.
Stovepipes because they just belch lots of smoke?
Yeah, because you might as well.
Yeah, no, it's rough. It's coarse, but there's definitely a twang to it that makes it
This is awful.
worthwhile.
Am I still smelling the other tobacco smell?
Oh no, it left as soon as you were away from Ms. Sterling.
Yeah.
But you do make that odd connection that somehow those were connected.
Yeah.
Any other fun for that evening?
I don't think so.
That's all the fun and I'm up to.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Boy.
within a few minutes, Mrs. Sterling, you regain your faculties.
Yeah.
The beast sort of flails itself against the prison inside your body and goes back to rest as you sort of, as the Charlie horse of your affliction wears itself down as well. You can once again move your extremities without with complete agency. And I'm guessing you just finished that page flip.
Yep.
And go back to reading.
Yep.
How many successes do I
after
need to get to make
a
bone china
heavy
set?
shudder.
How many pieces? Like, what? How
I'm
elaborate are we talking about here?
like, you know, like teapot, cups, and like a platter.
A service.
Yeah.
Oh.
How much bone do I need? How many successes do I need? She's getting a Fred special here because he.
This is the pattern. We've
This is how
established
things
this.
happen. Fred does something that is either involuntarily or voluntarily offensive to Miss Sterling, and then he makes up with it with stuff.
Hey, we did kill that buffalo that one time.
Did kill that buffalo that one time.
Oh, there's a lot of bone left from that.
So
Almost
as
have
if
the skull 'cause
inspired.
it's,
One of your puffs of smoke has a wonderful curl of a
The
milk,
handle of a teacup.
of a cream pot
Okay,
dispenser,
yeah.
and you're like, wunderbar.
That would just be a creamer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
How's that? Yes, that will do nicely.
And then Fred just stands up and
Yep.
walks into his.
Fred, have things to do.
Put your feet away.
No, put it. All 5 of them. Yeah, no, that one too. How did you even get that one?
What's the point of getting a big pipe if you just walk off right after?
it's probably all the stuff that gets stuck into the hook.
Some men just got to show off the size of their
Gets to your
beard.
head.
And once they've done it, there's not much else they can do with it.
Imagine
So,
how grimy that gets. You can't
No.
even put your finger through.
You know what I found though is that usually if it's something like that, where they gotta have, and because I've been around a couple other of us who like to
It
smoke.
took me 10 seconds to realize you were being Lazarus.
Yeah.
I thought you were just talking about pipes.
Yeah. No, it's what I found out is that there's with a couple other of us who like to smoke that if you don't have good enough control of your lungs with the blood and everything, then it sometimes you got to actually pull a little harder, and he's weird on the inside, I think. So
It's weird on the outside.
Well, you know, when I first got turned, I had to learn this stuff because like it's not like you can blow normally.
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
still
smoke
not-
would
I'm
just
still
come
not
in right
quite
out of my
getting it.
face, like every which way.
you know it's real weird. I never actually had that problem, at least not after I woke up.
I mean, I feel like Frankie just goes, pulls it in, comes out of the nose. Is this how you do it?
I don't know if it was like this with any of the rest of y'all, but I don't know the rest of your group here. But ever since I woke up, I mean, they had to just.
Wait, is this the way you can eat
Really?
soup and stuff?
Oh yeah. No. Whenever I woke up, Annie found me in a cave, and when I woke up, I didn't know that I was one of us, and I actually nearly died the first day. Because
you were eating all that regular food and it wasn't giving you anything.
Well, no, I ate a bear that night.
Did you kill it yourself?
Good man.
Oh
With your
yeah.
hands?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
But no,
There to do it.
they woke me up first thing in the morning because they thought I was a person, and I nearly set my head on fire. So then they realized that I needed to be inside the. Daddy realized that we needed to keep me inside until it was dark out. So.
Huh. So you have no idea who... You never met your sire?
No.
Wait, is that a bad thing?
Things are still real fuzzy up
Long
here.
time, right?
Yeah, I was.
Slept for a while.
I mean, it's not
real
a
long
big
time.
deal. I mean...
Last I checked, it was like how long? I think they said 800, 900 years.
Really? That's a lot of numbers.
How was it? Yeah, I was trying to because it's the 1800s, and I was asleep. Or I said he came over here in like early thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's some old world stuff.
Yeah, I have a
No, there are people here then.
I have a bit of history.
The black tap.
But,
I went to see New City's Crazy.
I unfortunately don't really remember much of it. I only know about the last 50 so years that I've been awake. So
Sometimes it's for the best.
But I didn't know.
I only saw mine for like
yeah, no.
5 days or something. I mean, I got the real rundown of here's the thing, here's the bot, and Camarilla, and
Oh, you mean it's
Masquerade
craziness,
and
not
stuff.
that it had.
yeah, I didn't know nothing about that until I met up with Hickory actually. But
That's legal.
we yeah, that's still kind of all that kind of fuzzy. I don't you like you said, I don't know who turned me into what I am now. I just know it was done a long time ago. But yeah, no, like I said, since I woke up, I've been able to eat and drink. I can smoke. I can do some other things that we won't talk about in polite company. And
wait, you can poop?
Yes. That's what
Yes.
That's what he meant.
That is exactly.
Right,
That's
absolutely what
exactly
he
what I
meant.
meant.
Yeah.
I'm missing something.
Won't speed
No,
it up, doesn't he?
Not in the slightest. Let me tell you. We'll go through knives later. And we can, but no, it's real strange. I still gotta like get it out later, like all the whatever I drink, but whatever I eat. But it's generally like I can just sit there and take on a whole bowl of soup and it still tastes really good. So
Oh, that's a blessing. I miss breakfast.
you
Sometimes I cook it at camp, just for the smell,
Candy.
just for the reminder. I look at it.
Have you ever had that
Zip.
spun sugar stuff?
Abe stares longingly at Cookie like a lover.
Cookie standing there, and he's like
He's got a rasher of bacon. He's just like slathering.
I just talk about
He does it on
candy,
purpose.
what do you call it? Cotton candy and like all the carnival foods because that's where I grew up.
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
I miss all that stuff.
Frederick,
Yeah.
make me a manipulation plus etiquette roll.
Ooh. Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Difficulty
D6.
4. I've actually only one dot in that. Okay, that's weird.
And you can add, do you have any specializations in manipulation?
That is enough.
No, I only have 3 points of it.
Okay.
It's enough to
So
trigger.
you can have one, or I'm going to give you an auto success on this as well. So you start with 1 success.
Rude.
Okay.
No, you'll
Before I
find
do
out in a
that,
moment.
I'm also going to burn 1 point of willpower to make sure I have 2 successes.
Cool.
And then with
I
6
forgot I could do that. Damn it.
difficulty is
Yes.
6.
6. Okay.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 success. Or sorry, 4, 5, 6. 6
Yeah.
successes.
Fred, you crack out that. You crack out most of that service in one night. You feel
Magic.
You feel hands over your hands as you mold the bone. Right.
Oh no! Oh god, no! Wait a minute.
Hopefully it's not Mr. Edwards.
You don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
he wouldn't be able to know.
Bertram lowers his jaw too far, and you hear the third set of vocal cords you put in as the violin starts.
We click in.
Oh, great!
That's weird.
Fantastic.
That is
I'm
fucking
having
weird.
a ghost moment with your ex-husband. That's the title for this episode.
Yes.
She's not touching that china.
Well, you don't know that.
It is bone china.
Ah.
Yup.
You feel the soft rub of his tweed sweater vest against your back.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
It also kind of sounds like the other ghost. The other game a little bit. Tweed and all.
Yeah, so you put in a good night's work on that, and you're like, yeah.
Oh, he wears a cheap suit.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Bill's not here to appreciate the craftsmanship.
No.
She might later. We'll see.
Well,
Maybe
also
we're
wasn't there to
Billy.
see the knife.
Bill's been conspiring with
Delia?
Delia. Thank you.
With our new combat medic.
God damn it.
Yeah, right?
Delia.
Oh, Tony.
Delia became a cleric while we were asleep.
She took fucking levels and.
I mean, what were we
Should go for swimming in the water.
Multi-class
Should
like
go for a swim in the lake and get imbued.
post /
Which one, Bill or
Delia.
Delia?
She took a couple levels
No,
of
it's
War
fucking
Priest.
cold. You're not going in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, apparently two of them are
Expert with
conspiring about
profession.
something.
What was I? What was I say that?
And you sleep.
Yeah. And
And you wake up. And you lose a blood point. Ha 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 ha. And you get a willpower point back. Okay.
Nope. It has to be different. Oh dear. Okay.
I'm going to eat a
Who do we have this
person.
evening?
It's Tasha this time.
Oh boy. So up a tree, right? Oh no, Tasha's boy crazy.
No, that's Eliza. Oh, Eliza's been out with me for a while, but Tasha's like kid.
Okay.
Hungry.
Very kid.
Still remembers things enough to not immediately go and eat someone.
Everyone.
But,
Okay.
but
Abe gets bothered.
I'm eating
Tugs
2
at.
people tonight.
I'm still hungry.
I'm
and I'm
taking
still
3 of
hurt.
one and 3 of someone else.
But
All
I
right.
don't want to hurt anybody.
I know.
I took
We'll
2
go
and
on.
2.
Alright.
Okay.
And finally back up to full blood points.
I am not.
Yeah,
I still have a lot of
I got
damage
my
to go
last
through.
thing
Yeah,
too.
I luckily
Roll
enough didn't
you
have that much
can-
damage this time.
So what
I got
you
hit
said
last
you said
time.
that amongst the
8.
herd, each vampire can effectively get 3 a night.
Yes.
Okay. I will at least do that for Fred. I don't know that Russ really isn't part of the herd yet, or really isn't part of the crew yet. So I don't know.
No,
if
yeah.
the herd will
Yeah.
let him.
I'll
feed
take
off of them,
Tasha
I
hunting.
mean, he's pretty nice, so...
but if he needs to, he can go out and maybe like track down like a bear or something like that.
Annie typically, well,
I don't know. He probably would not feed off of Annie.
Not
So
at
we
this
just
point.
anyway
just
right
like
now. Not at this
obfuscate
point.
our way
Like,
places.
If he's he probably hasn't fed off of Andy in a very long time.
Yep.
Because
no,
of,
yeah.
The consumption.
yeah.
I mean, we can always take
Yeah, if you go
Pico
hunting,
with us.
yeah, you definitely find an early deer or something.
A point or two back.
to- yeah.
That's all he needs.
Yeah. Speaking of which, oh, does it need to be a full blood point? Yeah, maybe. Oh, I just want to make sure that all of your people are being fed properly. Theo, the dogs, Bertram.
Oh yeah. How often do we need to feed them actually?
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, I give blood points every 3rd night.
Yeah. No, that tracks to keep it
Every
keep
3
it
nights.
sperm.
Because currently for me it's 2 that I need to take care of every 3rd. It's Bertram and Rolf.
Yeah.
Are him and the dog.
Yeah.
And then
Bertram can actually go like a week or so.
okay.
Just because it's so strong and so long, so to speak. Although
It was after I worked on it.
you may or may not like to go that long, as you notice certain behaviors start to manifest when you get to the week mark, and we'll see. So yeah, this is Rolf, and then there's Edgar and Attila. Or no, what did we name?
Yeah, Attila, aka Hungry, right?
Yeah, okay, so he is Attila. That's right. Okay, cool.
Attila the Hun.
Great.
Oh. All right. Why did I do that?
Why'd you do that?
What
I
was
don't
that?
know.
What was
did
that?
you do?
When the
was the
DM
thing.
can't understand his notes, it's the bangest.
No, it's not, because then he makes up something on the fly.
Yeah, and then you don't get cool plague doctors waking up people, and then it's sad. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. I know exactly what's going on.
I mean, being a GM is bluffing like at least
So,
50% of the time.
This evening is the night you depart. Maybe when Abe gets back, but Russ. So yeah, you and Annie have talked about heading to the coast, and she's hinted as much that this might be the best chance to do it, since if they accept you as part of the train, you can travel with them, maybe even become part of the feeding rotation. and that way you guys can at least make it to the Central Valley before they head farther south to LA, before you break off farther west to head straight to the coast.
Yeah, that's fair.
So who do you approach with this, or how do you think you would start to ask about it?
He'd probably just start talking to everybody in the camp. If people are kind of together, but let's see, who would he look at as? He'd probably come to. I'm actually trying to think of who he'd look at as the leader of your guys' of the group.
I was the one that introduced you.
Yeah, that's true.
But
speaking of which, what's your setup on this night before leaving?
Jeez, do we have
what do you mean?
Are you still just sitting out in the chair with the table, even on the night you're going to leave?
Yeah, because Patricia and
Jean-Pierre
are taking care of it.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah.
That's what they're there for.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good point. He'd probably go talk to Mrs. Sterling, and then probably Abe, honestly. Obviously, he's like buddy with Abe at this point. But,
yeah.
He'd probably go talk to Mrs. Sterling because she seems like she's in charge of things.
If you do come by
things.
where Abe is, like I'm like going out, I'm hungry, and then and then I say, "Want to hunt?" Because Tasha just says her mind a lot.
Well, I gotta talk to some of the people in the camp here. But yeah, I mean, I like to hunt. Hunting's fun. You ever take down a wolverine?
No.
They're like this big.
Wait, do you eat those?
I mean, you can, but their skin's real tough, so it's hard to get through. You gotta have big old chompers like these.
Oh, you mean hunting like my dad hunted?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
was that the red
first
light
dad. That one's Axe Dad. I want to say Abe.
Axed it? I hadn't heard you call it. Oh right. No, I didn't know that was his nickname. That's pretty nice. I like that. Axe
It's
Dad.
my nickname. I don't know if anyone else uses it.
No,
you can use it. I'll let you use it.
Oh, thanks. I'll make sure to let him know.
Why do they?
What are you letting him borrow?
I'm letting Russ call Abe Axe Dad.
How you doing there, Axe Dad?
Nice.
Nice. But do you know where is Mrs. Sterling over by her camp?
Oh, I don't know. When she gets quiet, I don't go near her because she gets mad.
I mean, that's fair.
When the songs stop, it's really just easier to leave her alone.
Well, I have an important question to go ask her, but I'll tell you what. If the discussion goes the way that I hope it does, I promise I will go hunting with you as soon as I can, and I will show you. I'll see if I can find a bear for us to take down.
Yeah. Okay. Somewhat confused.
See, I think he assumes that you're talking about regular hunting.
I don't know if either person understands we're talking about different things.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, so he goes and finds Mrs. Sterling and knocks on the door of your abode. Yeah, Mrs. Sterling.
So you would shout that at her from the side of her wagon, or
I didn't know if she's outside. But
you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
No.
I mean,
if
he was coming from
totally
where he and Annie are.
Oh yeah,
so he's coming back.
So you would be up on the opposite side of the.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of away from everyone.
Yeah.
So you hear him shout that,
knocking on the door of her wagon,
and
I sneak in.
Jean-Pierre stands up
Sneak.
and comes over and comes around the wagon. He's like, "Yes, how? Did you need something, Mrs. Sterling?"
Well, yeah. If I could talk to her for a minute, I just have a question to ask her, if she doesn't mind.
I'll check real quick, and you hear
He's
Jean-Pierre
gone for 5 minutes.
come back. You hear Jean-Pierre come up behind you, and it's like, Mrs. Sterling, Mr. McDaniel wishes to inquire of you.
Send him over.
Very good.
Oh,
And
sorry, I will receive him.
yeah. And
I use myself. I'm sorry.
you're like, this is odd, standing next to the wagon, while apparently she's over there somewhere. Okay. And the kid comes up and he's like, she'll receive you and lead you back around the wagon. Oh, she's right there.
Oh, I see.
Down the path, a few yards out from the wagon, in a little chair with a little table, and she's got fresh tea, and it smells.
Is it fresh?
pretty good. Oh yeah, no, it's good.
It's a fresh pot today.
Yeah.
You come back and Tasha's not there.
He's like,
We'll need
this
his
is
rest.
Sterling, Mr. McDaniels.
You need his rest.
Thank you, Shoki.
Makes me feel better.
Sort of gives the head bow and
Ma'am, are you there?
She closes her book.
He takes off his.
Yeah, and
like he's entered her parlor.
Yeah.
Sets it on her table and actually turns to you and is just rimmed in red.
Oh,
Just
ma'am, do you need a kerchief?
No, but thank you, I appreciate it.
Self-control roll.
Oh no, no.
I just love the fact that all it takes for me to trigger self-control in her is being polite.
That is a...
How was I made a vampire? How do you think my husband wooed me? Or my current one did?
I also like the bit that I built both of these characters. I built both these characters to be polite in very different ways.
He's so... Look at him trying so hard.
Freeze!
He's so rustic, but damn if he doesn't get the important parts right.
A charming barbarian.
Mrs. McDaniels is so lucky. Love.
Oh no.
John,
he comes over and he goes, oh my, she has the vapors.
Did I think she broke. I don't know what to do. I just offered her a handkerchief.
Oh yes, that does it sometimes. Just a moment. If you please stand by that. Just a moment.
Just kind of backs off to like a tree. It's like,
poor Pip.
Man, I don't get these other vampires.
Jean-Pierre sort of just waits in front of you, and he dabs the
I totally
dabs the blood
while
away,
I'm hiding.
and he just sort of like checks the book, checks to make sure you look okay, refreshes the tea just a little, and takes a moment.
You hiding?
Yep. No,
Blink, blink.
Yeah, you come back to a moment or two. He's like, shall I call him back or?
I'm feeling real pleased with myself
Yes.
right now.
I'm sure you are.
He goes. He's like, she's composed herself.
He kind of comes back.
We missed such a good pizza deal
ma'am,
today.
I'm sorry.
I apologize, Mr. McDaniels.
I know it's.
Had a rough few days. Nice.
I can tell. If it'll keep you from freezing up, do I need to like be more rude to you? I don't really want to. It's not how I was raised, but I don't really want you to go all foggy like that again.
I will keep myself together.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to come and talk to you about, since I don't know which one of y'all is in charge, but you seem as good of an option as any. Andy and I need to. Well, I think we need to get a move on. She ain't getting any healthier, despite how she was looking after we woke up, and we talked about trying to get out to the coast, and we kind of got stuck here in Tahoe for a little while, or we don't call it Tahoe yet, do we?
I mean, the region.
Yeah.
Because that's the lake, and so it
Okay,
works.
sorry. Yeah, we kind of got stuck out here for a little while, maybe longer than we expected, but, people here are good. But,
so to speak.
yeah. But, except for that spider lady, she's here.
Yeah, you wouldn't taste that one. No, that's...
No.
She's also very polite.
Yeah, but not in a good way.
Unfortunately, I don't get to choose.
Yeah. Let me tell you some time about what happens to me when I go a little crazy. Anyway, as I was trying to say, I would very much so like it if myself and my wife could join you on your train out towards west. We want to make the coast. I would like to do it before Annie has other places to be.
It might do her well to be around the old more.
Yeah. No, it's also true, but it doesn't seem to. It doesn't seem to have hung around much since.
Well, you'll
since
have
y'all-
to talk to Mr. von Sleven about that. He has his own way of doing things, apparently.
You know,
Disapproval.
it's kind of funny actually.
She actually rearranges the book a little bit. Just
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny about that. We held off the sickness for good. I want to say, how long has she been since Daddy died? So several decades now. We held off the sickness, but she just kind of got tired of it. That's why she's not drinking the blood anymore. It's why she's not, she's just kind of letting things run the course. I think she was happy to be up and about, but she doesn't seem particularly sad to be going about the other way. I think she's a little more tired than the rest of us are. She ain't one of us as it is. So
yes, tired.
But well, any case, before anything were to happen that would cause us to not get to see the coast, I would like to get her out there, and we'd like to go. So, with your permission, we'd like to join your train. We'd help provide for food and helping with all the people. It's really just the two of us, and Annie's not much for moving around at the moment. But she's got her chair, and we can provide ourselves a wagon. I'm sure get with some of the people in town, and she's got a whole wealth of knowledge about cooking, cleaning, herbal medicine and other things. Probably help all the people around.
I'm going to stop you there, Miss McDaniels. It would be lovely if you joined.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I'll go and inform Cook that we'll have one more human along for the ride. Do get yourself ready. We look to be moving out today.
I think we've been doing so, but yeah, we'll be ready. Oh, thanks, thank you very much, ma'am.
Certainly.
And he gives like his super clumsy bow and like kind of walks and kind of stumbles off.
Follow.
Philippa does. She
have a
stands
shadow?
and just straight up wraith-likes goes through camp.
Runs off over to Abe. Hey, Axe Dad, I got a surprise for you. And he slaps you on the back.
Goes to Mr. Jennings.
What'd that be? You haven't seen my daughter around?
I'm here!
He goes,
What?
huh,
Out of
need some
obfuscate.
coffee instead of tea?
Hey,
Who are you?
it looks like me and Annie are packing up and
All
coming
right.
with y'all. We're gonna head out west with you.
Oh, that's some good news. Did you hear
Get
that?
mad?
What?
She didn't get mad?
No. Why would she get mad?
No, she was very quiet.
Quiet doesn't mean you're mad. Well, I mean, can.
Pip tells Cook.
Anyway, I told Missy here we'd go hunt a bear if I got to hang out with y'all.
Oh, that's some
Coming
great
outside.
news. So
Annie.
I'll get the gear
Annie will
ready.
be joining.
Mrs.
But
McDaniels.
can
Yes,
we
Mrs.
Slowly
McDaniels.
joins.
for
And he
other?
goes,
Alright,
she don't have much to start with, and she could.
Get your
Oh.
stuff ready. We're gonna go neat.
Oh,
That's some
now
good
I
news.
see what you're
I'm
talking
sure you'll
about.
make
Yeah.
fast.
We can both.
If
I
you'll
mean-
excuse me.
Yeah.
Don't.
And
As
then
long as look,
Wraith goes
Missy,
back.
Missy,
just
as
a
long as you don't
whisper
kill
over
anybody in
her normal
town.
self.
you're free to sample the wares, but please do not kill anybody on our way out.
I know.
I'll go with her. Whoa.
I'm just hungry.
I know.
I didn't need anybody.
Yeah, no, it's
You
true.
need to take care of that.
I waited.
I know you did. I promised you would go, so we'll go.
Yay! And then we can kill a bear.
Yeah, that's right.
So, where do you head next after Cookie?
I go straight back to my chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I take the
I
girls
did
to
what I
go.
said I was gonna do, and then
We actually go prowling in town so she can feed a bit and cure some of the wounds she's got.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a D10.
5.
Cool. You managed to.
Oh, that's just enough.
You managed to Sandman somebody, and then a little bit after that, you find someone else who's.
That's how he messed up.
Yeah. You find someone else who's had a few too many, so you take a few nibbles off and then throw them next to one of the communal campfires, and you're not hungry anymore.
I'll wake up only thinking about the good times.
Deanne, Annie seems to be a little revitalized by the good news, and you guys have been mostly packed up anyway, so
it's good.
She
The rest
manages to
will be able to take care
she
of
manages to get herself situated
Okay.
on
I don't
a
remember
cart
it much, but
while you
did Joseph
whip down
take
the
care?
tent and,
He was
and
really
throw
happy
everything
about it.
into the cart.
Apologize and
Like you
everything.
do.
You did good.
And you guys are actually ready to go in good time.
Yeah.
You still
Okay.
did it. That's what matters.
Fred
But if I
finishes
don't
off
remember it,
the
did I do?
set.
Yeah, you did.
Hannah, are you up to anything this night before you guys leave?
That's why I'm here.
All right, you are
I'll
on
remember
your
it for
buckboard
you.
with Theo. The bun is high.
Is that how we can tell how serious she is? Is like the relative height of the bun?
It's just from the neck to the top of the head.
Wow.
Yeah, there's an optimal angle at which all is right with the world,
Yes.
and any variation from
Oh,
there
if it's like
is
all the way over here,
is a
it's like,
barometer.
what's going on?
Yeah, no, there's an issue if it's all the way up in the front. No, it should be right at the crown, like, right here at the back of the head, like right at the top. In the center is where it's perfectly angled.
School is in session.
Yes.
Watch your shit.
If it's slightly lower or slightly higher, Hannah's having a distraught day.
Yeah. So you guys go hunting. Russ is packing.
Yep.
And Hannah rests on her laurels of knowledge. Lou on his horse continually paces back and forth through the camp.
Your niece is trying to slow her. Basil will come to her.
Once
Not happen.
the
Join
McDaniel
up and have like,
cart
finger,
is
walk away.
packed and ready, Cookie comes over,
Drive by love.
and there is no shortage of giggling from Annie as her and Cookie swap horror stories
That's cute.
of different
Aw.
cooking tales.
Mishaps.
Russ also chimes in with a few daddy stories and a few attempts of his own.
Well, see, this one time I tried to. She was off doing something in the woods, and I really wanted some some and so I took some flour and a little bit of water, and I just kind of mixed them together, and
Made
it
this really
didn't
awful
turn
paste.
out really good.
Like,
My jaw was
Some
stuck. My
flour
jaw
in
was
a
stuck
pan.
shut for like an hour or so. Wasn't good.
No, yeah, there's a few awkward, quiet pauses before the laughing ensues. Sounds like Fred is up to something though.
Well,
Or is Fred gonna drop that tonight, or is that later?
I think he was going to try to drop that tonight before everybody headed out.
Drop that what? Drop what?
The base.
Whoop, 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 whoop,
Wow.
Mrs. Sterling will not receive you.
Wow. The unison wub wubs.
The problem is that
Where's
he
Gilly
takes-
to be sad and upset that this is happening?
He takes off the lid of the teapot. It's just a mouth, just wub 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 wub.
It's not okay.
It's not
Yes.
No,
good.
it's not okay.
The sugar is the tweeter.
Stop.
His whole set is just a synthesizer. It's just made of bone and looks like a tea set.
Yeah.
Any case,
Cinema.
Why do you like this?
Because I hate how much I love dubstep. Anyway, yeah, it's a problem.
so after not talking to anybody for most of the night,
Mhm.
at some point or other, Fred just kind of bursts out of his carriage and shouts for Jean-Pierre.
He just shouts for Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre!
Wow.
The orb shines above your head, and after a few moments of nothing, you see the little head bob across a couple carts, and you see him coming up. He's like, "Yes,
I have something for your mistress. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I have something for your mistress. I believe it would be best if you were to hand deliver it."
Hands.
No.
Possibly hands.
He pulls out a masterfully made tea set.
And he goes, by my own hands.
Yes.
He sort of does
and he
deliver it to her.
He hands the tray, because it's all set up on the tray, and hands it over to Jean-Pierre.
And he goes, with your, and he's what word do I want for that? With your affections, with your wishes, something like that.
Please tell her that this is 3 of 3.
He goes.
I'm pretty sure this is the third time I've had to make up to you.
He goes 3 of 3. Absolutely, and he
progressively more so. It was a fan. It was the fan the first time, wasn't it? And then it was the dresses, and now it's this thing.
The trombone.
Next time you're gonna be like,
the trombone hasn't happened yet.
Do I have
the
enough
screaming trombone?
Bones and skin to make her a carriage.
The problem is that as I have all this NBC stuff. Everybody else's
really
stuff is just going to look way much worse as they go
right.
So yeah, much more carefully, he wends his way back through camp, and Mrs. Sterling, it is.
Just waiting to hear the God damn it, Fred!
It is nearly time. You're deciding whether or not you can finish this chapter, or whether or not you should just set the book down now and stare off into the trees until you absolutely must crawl back into that wagon.
100%.
Right.
And you hear
this very English quiet desperation.
You smell that delicious scent of Patricia and Jean-Pierre sidle up behind you, and you hear in Patricia's adorable broken French, Mistress Sterling, we have something for you.
Oh.
I pushed the politeness button.
Yeah.
I should not have done that.
Very nice.
No, she puts the book down and she closes her eyes. She says, "I can't take anything else today."
Even though it's been 3 days? Oh, did you just came by? Oh, you just, okay.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
McDaniels made me.
Okay, that was the
freeze.
same day. Okay,
And
sorry.
cry.
Polite
Oh no,
button.
no! They you hear Patricia go, "Oh no, just Jean-Pierre," and he comes around. You see her hands in the corner of your sight slide and hold some of the items that are on the little table, and Jean-Pierre sets down a fully finished tea service, which appears to be made of fine bone porcelain. And he says,
It is lacquered, by the way, and it does have flowers.
"Yeah."
Oh.
He says, "Mr. von Schlieben says this is 3 of 3, and sends his regards."
Part of me is like, she's pissed. Like, just like,
Yeah.
God damn it, Fred.
Screw your thoughtful gifts, Fred.
well, it's more like, you think you can just buy me off every time you fucking stab me in the back?
He's gonna try.
He's rich and Prussian. That's what he does.
She's British. And a bit of a prude.
It's really nice tea set.
I'm gonna say evens, she accepts it, and odds, she pushes it off the table.
Oh.
Well, how long do you think she waits before she comes to that decision?
I don't know if it's like, it's just me waffling. Like, I think she'd look down at it and be like, either, oh, or no!
But for her, it would be instant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If there was any delay, Jean-Pierre was going to offer to pack it up.
Yeah.
You know, as
as she looks down at it, it's either visceral, oh wow, that's so lovely, or
You get a flip coin?
I fucking hate it.
She's going to roll for it right
Oh,
now.
she's
She-
gonna roll
Yeah,
for
so
it.
I'm gonna
she
with
can- okay.
evens accepts, odds destroy.
All right.
Oh, what's an accept? I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Either one's good. Either one's
If she just
You can begrudgingly accept.
pack it up.
right away, and it slides out of your view, whip-like. And the other items, you see them still in Patricia's hands out of the corner of your eye. She's like, would you like me to put these away as well? I believe we're about to leave.
Yes, please, Patricia.
And she collects them up, and you know that as soon as you lift yourself up out of the chair and start making your way towards the wagon,
It disappears too.
Jean-Pierre will be right back to gather up the furniture, and you will be on your way once more.
Where are Daryl and Chloe staying? In what cart?
They have placed themselves in a wagon equidistant between Fred's caboose and Mrs. Sterling's wagon. As they've both checked in on occasion. Daryl's checked in with you and Bertram, at the very least to exchange pleasantries and to see how you're getting along. But I imagine Fred would be like, no, you're a man, you have a family.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go.
Although he is working on baby clothes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Terrifying baby clothes.
God, what are they made of?
The crib's gonna be
Actual
metal as
baby.
hell.
Oh, yeah,
I
it is.
imagine any baby clothes look like Leatherface, like just.
Right.
Oh God!
Fucking rocker straight
they're
out
made
of
of
Adam's
actual
Family.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, baby clothes made of actual baby.
Ah.
Little baby jacket.
Like, is it a baby jacket or a baby jacket? Damn it! Yes. Both.
There have been
Why not
occasion where you hear Patricia or Jean-Pierre speaking with her.
Yeah.
And they all sort of come to agreement on something, and then she leaves.
It just breaks her fucking heart. She just wants to, but just don't get attached. She'll get taken away from you. Don't get attached. It's her mantra. Monster?
Monster.
Mantra. Yeah.
I like monster.
It could be a monster.
She is a monster.
And you all pile up. And as soon as the last person gets on their buckboard, the horse that Lou rides puts on a bit more speed than any of you have ever seen it give. And gets to the front of the train. And you guys wend your way out of the Tahoe Basin south along the High Sierra Ridgeline. And that is a fantastic place to stop for the evening.
Woo! Awesome.
So, go ahead and grab another 2 XP all around for entertainment value from each and every one of you.
Yeah. Entertainment.
Please make sure to let Megan know that Bill will also receive the 2 XP
For behind the scene plotting.
Oh yeah, no, I've
Nice.
she'll deserve the 2 XP one way or the other. Don't worry. I just had it in front of me. That's weird. And I believe we're all good for next week, the 16th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure she'll be back to you on that one.
Yeah, sure.
Because I will not be here on the 16th.
I lost my pencil.
I ate it.
That's weird. I hid it. Oh, there it is.
You ate it?
No, he hid it.
Oh.
I ate it. He
He
hated it.
hated it. He do
I
not
hate
like.
I thought he hated it.
He do not like.
You'd think I would be used to your accent by now.
You think?
You just tune it out on the daily.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Oh,
sometimes
it's saying things again.
You think my accent would be settled on something at this point? It's not.
Was there an implied age or not?
H's? The fuck are those?
Say goodnight, Internet.
Good night, Internet. There's a thing